Shalom, shalom, lekulam, shalom to everyone. Welcome to another Shabbat here at Beulah Land and Temple Kifarim. This is the first class. The first class, we have two classes each Shabbat at 11 a.m. and also at 4 p.m. Eastern time. If you are tuning in later right now, make sure that you like, make sure that you subscribe if you haven't, and make sure that you share it if you are getting good information, or what they would say, getting fed with the word, with the history, with the examples of life that is distributed from those on this panel, and the comments that we have during the class. If you're enjoying that, please share it with others. The first portion of the class, we say that what we're thankful for, give honor and praise to the Most High. This is dealing with anything pertaining to today, anything pertaining to the month, a few days ago, a week, whatever it might be, whatever you're thankful for. This is a time to please share it, and we will put it on the page so that people can see. Again, if people are tuning in now, make sure that you subscribe, that you like, and you share if you have yet to do that. Is there anything that you might want to say, Prince?
Boker Tov, family. May the Most High be praised. It is the WPA key.
So that, yep, she got it. She said she got it. All right. Again, Shabbat Shalom, Amber. We appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you tuning in. If you haven't yet, please take the time to like really quickly and make sure you share. Not sure if you're familiar, you may be, but the first class is at 11. You're here. And then the next class is at 4 p.m. Eastern time, every Shabbat. If you want to give thanks to the Most High, give honor and praise to the Most High for whatever it may be today, on last week, on this month, please do so, and we will share it. All right. She says, thankful to be able to spend another Shabbat with you all. All right. And we're thankful that you are spending this time with us, believing that we are worth your time to share and give honor with the Most High on this set-apart day. Shabbat Shalom, everyone that's tuning in and coming in right now. We see you coming in. If you haven't yet, please make sure you like this chat and this page. Share, subscribe, and share this page as well. But make sure you like this video to help the algorithms continue to grow. All right. So again, if you have not, please let us know what you're thankful for. We will share it. Anyone here on the panel, anyone here in the Knesset, want to give honor and praise to the Most High, now is the time. Now is the time. Now is the time. All right. All right. Did you want to give honor and praise? Okay, I'll mute myself.
Shabbat Shalom Lekulam.
Shabbat Shalom.
First, I want to give praise and honor to the Most High Creator, creator of heaven, earth, and all that exists. I definitely want to give thanks to the Most High for life, for strength. And when I say strength, I know it sounds like a cliche, but mentally, physically, and spiritually, because Shabbat Shalom, because it can, for me, like I said, I'm still going through my journey of mourning and healing right now of the transition of my aim. And for me, when I say spiritual strength, I mean strength to praise the Creator, strength to acknowledge the Creator, and still continue to go on after what has happened. I know for a lot of people, loss can be a major setback for their belief and for their life overall. I've seen it before with other family members. After grief, they've taken a step back on everything, and it's changed their view of how they view life, how they view, their religion or their culture. And for me, I'm just grateful for strength to keep persevering and trusting the Most High. And I'm grateful for the support that I have. I would encourage anybody that if you're grieving or you're mourning, to have a community and have those that are closest to you stay in contact with you, because the moral support is one of the things that keeps you going. It's one of the things that lifts you up on those really rough days. And I believe it's all of the Most High, because the Most High uses people to not fill in those places, but he uses us as vessels to do what we're supposed to do. And I'm grateful for that strength, because it has been a challenge. I've had days I've been up, I've had days I've been down, but through it all, I'm grateful that my strength for still believing in our Creator and this walk and his purpose for my life is staying strong. So I would just encourage those to don't give up. Don't give up on the Most High. Don't give up on your family. Don't give up on your culture. I look at Moshe, I look at our forefathers and our foremothers. If they would have let those situations and those hard times deter them from the Most High, a lot of us wouldn't even probably be here. A lot of us wouldn't even have the opportunity to stand on their shoulders. So I feel like if the Most High gave them strength and they went through seeing generations be destroyed. They went through, they went through more than I can even explain right now, and probably more than our literature could even write out. So they had the strength and the courage through everything they went through. I believe we have that same strength and courage to keep on going and doing what the Most High has called us to do. I'm grateful for my Bayeeth family. I'm grateful for my mishpachah. I'm grateful for the new additions to our mishpachah. On my Ab side, Benjamin, he's healthy, he's strong, he's a beautiful little one. I'm grateful because whenever I believe a child is added to or your family is growing, I believe that's the Most High increasing us. And I just pray that we continue to be the remnant of the remnant. Zehu, Shabbat Shalom.
May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah, Toda Rabbah, Toda Rabbah.
All right. Shabbat Shalom for those that's just coming in right now. Shabbat Shalom. If you haven't, please take this moment, take the time, take a second to just like this video. Like this video. You have no idea what your like can do. The algorithms expand when we take the time to like it. When we take the time to share it, it shows a little more being a little more personal with what you're sharing. You know, people that might believe in what you speak about or taking your character and thoughts and what you take in, they may just take that time to listen because you share. So if you haven't, please make sure you like it, make sure you share, and if you haven't, also make sure you subscribe. This is the moment where we give honor and praise to the Most High. If you have anything that you want to say, those here in the Mishkan or Knesset, and those that's in social media world right now, YouTube, please do so right now. If there's anybody on the panel, Princess, if you wanted to go, you can as well. Of course, you know that. And that's how we'll do it. Anyone here? Anyone on the panel?
I'll go, I guess. Shabbat Shalom. First and foremost, all praises, all glory unto the Creator, for He is truly magnificent in all He does. And just thankful for being here on another Shabbat day. Thankful for the Creator allowing me to be present again, to make it through another week, a week of different trials and experiences and growth and bonding and things like that, of knowing oneself. Thankful for the Most High for allowing my husband to be present, and the blessing that comes from him. Thankful for my Abba and my Ima. Even though she's no longer here, her wisdom still resides within my spirit every day. I hear her. And I'm just thankful for the elders that I have around me. Yeah, that's it. Shalom.
May the Most High be praised. To the Rabbah. To the Rabbah.
All right. Shalom again, everyone. Shalom. We see it's quite a few people here right now. Please take the time and give us what you're thankful for. Let us know what you're thankful for. This moment, Shabbat is not just about teaching. You know, each and every day is a lesson that we should be learning. So we should be getting taught every day. But it's coming together as a community, coming together even within this platform, those that don't live in this community. So we definitely want to, know what you're thankful for, know what you're grateful for, and that can always help each and every one of us become closer because we have an understanding of what helps you to become closer with the Most High. Something to think about. So if you can take the moment, let us know what you're thankful for, and we will share it. All right. Is anyone here that wants to give honor and praise? Okay. All right. I'll go ahead and go till we get some people to come on. I just want to give honor and praise to the Most High, just for another day and another moment of allowing me to create peace. Sometimes we want peace, we ask for peace. We need someone else outside of us to bring that peace, which it should just be adding to your peace. But we don't try to create our own peace. So I'm thankful, and because we're given that opportunity. The Most High gives us that opportunity in each and every moment. So I'm just thankful for being able to realize that and to continue to operate on that level within that thought process, even in the midst of down moments, even in the midst of trying moments. What helps me to overcome any of those moments is to know that I can create a moment of peace, and that moment of peace can overshadow many things that's going on in your life. Just something to think about, and I'm just grateful for that. Grateful for my parents. Again, I always say that because without them, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be able to go through the things that I do go through or I have went through, to be able to assist with those present in my life or those that will be present in the future to become better than me and those around me that I know. I'm grateful and blessed that the Most High is giving me that opportunity to do that. And I'm just grateful for my Isha. Grateful for my Isha because even in the midst of this that has been going on with the family, she is showing strength. The remembrance of the word, the remembrance of our culture, even taking certain things that I say, she soaks it in and she's applying it. It's another level of strength to have a family member that was so close to you, and to exercise it in the way that she has been. I'm grateful for that because what it does, it assists in my walk as well as what I'm supposed to be for her, what I'm supposed to be for the people. And what do I mean by that? You have men that truly care about their Nashim, and if they're seeing certain things going on with their Nashim, that can affect the family. But I'm grateful that her knowledge of knowing what my position is supposed to be, she's able to find that strength to continue to do what she's supposed to do as well. I'm grateful for the leadership, grateful for Prince, grateful for Princess, grateful for all of those here at Beulah Land. I believe that we have a chance to do something that hasn't been done in a long time. I'm grateful to be a part of it. I'm grateful that the Most High pointed me in the direction to come and assist in whatever way I can. And I pray that the Most High, I'm grateful that the Most High is going to give me opportunities to continue to get better, even in the position that I have. And with that, I yield because I could keep going. I'm grateful for my limbs. I'm grateful to be able to, breathe every day. I'm grateful that I'm out of this pain that I had for the last 3 to 4 days. Horrible. Pulled my lower back. And it was one of those freak accidents. So I'm grateful that that pain is gone. But one of the things about pain, it helps you to know that you're alive. It also helps you to know that something is wrong, and it puts you in a position to fix whatever is wrong. So pain is needed, even outside of the body. So just grateful for all those things. And with that, I yield.
May the Most High be praised. I'm laughing, I'm smiling because this motivator, I forget the brother's name, but I think it's David something. He ran marathons and was in the military, breaking records. Black guy, young black guy. And one of his famous quotes is, "Pain is a symbol of weakness leaving your body." I like that. Pain is a symbol of weakness leaving your body. And I like that. I have adapted that into my thought. That's why I was able to recall it when you brought that up. So may the Most High be praised. Total Rabah. You see if anyone else wants to acknowledge the Creator. I see some comments in the page. Just Aisha.
Okay. She says, I am thankful for good people. We live in a crazy world. However, good people still exist, and I am thankful for this.
Ima, see if anybody in your audience want to thank the Creator, please.
You said low.
All right. Anybody at the Knesset, Mikdash, want to thank the Creator?
Okay.
Shabbat Shalom. Okay. Today, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Creator, the Most High. Today, I'm thankful for many things. I'm thankful for, first and foremost, waking up and to have another opportunity to do things better and a little bit differently than I did yesterday. I'm thankful for, as always, peace of mind. I'm thankful that the Creator continues to give me a peace of mind through any situation that I am facing, continuing to keep me in a certain state of knowing, and knowing, the things, just knowing that He's always there, even when it comes sometimes may feel as if He's not. I'm thankful for my Isha, my family, my children. I'm thankful for them because, I believe that the Creator, the things that our parents don't deal with trickles down to us. And then the things that we may not have dealt with or overcame, we'll see those things in our children. And so I'm grateful for, just being a father. I never had my father in my life actively, in my life, period. And so I'm thankful to be able to change or break a certain cycle and a curse that was placed upon my bloodline and family. Thankful to give them something that I didn't have. I'm thankful for Beulah. I'm thankful for everyone here, leadership here, the families that are here, that are striving to work together, despite anything that the world may throw at us or anything, obstacles that we have to face because of the place and the current situations that we're in as a nation of people. So I'm grateful for that. I am also grateful for, just self-preservation. I'm grateful for the time that we're living in. This is a very special time that we're living in because it's a time that we have never seen. I'm thankful that the Creator is now taking the time to deal with us, taking the time to reveal things to us, and taking the time to just reconcile us back to Him, in the ways that He is doing. So I'm grateful for that. Today, I'm grateful for the growth and the areas that I feel that I am growing in and the things that the Creator is showing me. I'm thankful for the calmness that He continues to give me in every storm. I'm thankful for just everybody here, just looking around and just seeing that everybody's still here despite what we may be going through. I think that's a beautiful thing. And other than that, I'm just grateful. honestly, I'm just grateful for everything. I'm grateful for even, just as I continue to reflect and just look back on my life. I'm grateful for everything that I've been through. I'm grateful for every obstacle. I'm grateful for all the pain. I'm grateful for, the happy times, the sad times. And I'm just grateful for the place of, how can I say this? I'm just grateful for the place of, what's the word? I'm just in a place of stillness. So I'm grateful for that place, to be in that place, and to be in a place where it's like I'm brainstorming now. I'm finally getting to a place where, I can start to branch out as a person, as a man, getting things together, getting, my house in order and stable. And so I'm thankful to the Creator for these things, and just Him always just being there for me, just speaking to me when I need something, and keeping me in my right mind at all times. Zehu.
Right. May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. May the Most High be praised. Was there anyone else?
Is anyone else in here that wants to give honor and praise to the Most High?
Okay.
Shabbat Shalom, family.
Shabbat Shalom.
I would like to give glory and honor to the Most High, and I'm thankful to the Most High for family, always peace of mind. Definitely bringing me through different obstacles, and thankful for leadership. I'm thankful for the Most High for answering prayers. I'm thankful for prayer, that the Most High hears our prayers. I'm just thankful for those things. Very grateful and thankful for the Most High.
May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. Those things are important. Aim, check something.
And Aim Patel says, Shabbat Shalom, family. I'm thankful to the Most High for His continued works of creation in our lives, for the possibilities for new and renewed births. The birthing process can sometimes be painful and rough, but I think she's still typing. She's still typing.
Yeah. Well, we're going to patiently wait for Aim.
Okay. If you haven't yet, those that's tuning in, please make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and make sure that you share if you have not shared yet. I wonder if those that I'm talking to now are sharing as I'm saying share. Go ahead and share, you all. We have class at 11, of course, and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. These are good discussions, good conversations and lessons that can help us. And that's our job. We're supposed to go through our literature and find things that we can benefit from as a people outside of what we're supposed to do from the law.
All right. May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. So family, what we say when we ask of you to share, we mean go to your phone, share the link to everybody on your text message link from now to last year. Just send it out to everybody randomly. Go to all your social media groups and share it in all your social media groups. Share with everybody you can think about. And I mean that because a lot of times you never know who's in their heart looking for the Creator, looking for an escape, looking for a way, looking for relief. And sometimes you just sending that text out of the blue and they go and link. I've been talking to so many people, and when I've asked them, how did you come to learn who you were? Somebody just dropped something on them. And they just went and looked, and next thing they know, their soul was being fed because of something somebody shared with them. So think about it, family. You have the opportunity to save somebody else's life. A lot of people that you know could be going through things mentally, emotionally, spiritually, And just by you reaching out and allowing them to partake of this message could be saving their lives. You have the opportunity to save somebody else. You won't know. So you got to be patient. You got to start examining what you're really doing to help others in ways that is really nothing for you to just push a finger, push a button to push a finger to make something happen. All right, I think AIM is back.
Okay, and she said the birthing process can sometimes be painful and rough, but the end result is a celebration of relief, love, and peace. The opportunity to learn and relearn throughout our life's journey is priceless.
May the Most High be praised. I had something that I was trying to share with us today. I'm gonna find it another way, because on this platform I have to open up Google Chrome, and then I have to open up Safari. So I have two streams opening up, and it doesn't work that way. So I'm gonna have to find another way to share with the family what it is that I want to share. But I'll find a way in a moment. Yes, may the Most High be praised. Thank you, Aim. Aim calls to mind something that I wanted to say about family. So I thank the Creator at this time, if I have the opportunity to do so, if nobody else is trying to go. I thank the Most High for life, for strength, for health, for portions of his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that he shares with us. A lot of people take it for granted what the Most High does for us in our lives, like surrounding us with certain people to be in our lives to help us in those difficult times. It's important, extremely important. And I want to thank the Creator for that, because we've seen the love of one of our mothers, Ain Katar's sister, Sister Laurel, she's way in about 700 miles away from us from here, about 2,000 miles away from the land, in Beulah land. And I haven't seen her on our platform in a minute, but yet every week she's here. She's just been in the background somewhere, and somebody get a text and a message about something. She fits right in. She says her little part, and she disappears again. We don't hear from her to the rest of the day, to the end of the lesson, or later in the week. But she's here. Powerful move. But I want to thank the Creator for women like that, because she's a valuable asset to our development, to our understanding. You know, women it's extremely important to have women of integrity, women of honor, and women of value in your midst when you're building something substantial, something of value. And Sister Laurel has just been like a stronghold. She's been coming through in times when you don't even think she's needed. She comes through. And she's not boisterous. She's not loud. She's not looking for attention. She's not looking for recognition. Like right now, she's probably blushing wherever she at. Probably listening to this and probably blushing because of the type of woman she is. She has an excellent spirit. And them two right there, Ain Katir and Sister Laurel, you can tell they're sisters because they just know how to be. You know what I mean? They just know how to be. They know when they need it, when they fit in, when they can help, and they do it. No questions asked. So she sent a whole package of clothing and things for all the babies that was born within this last month. You know, we had about 3 babies so far. This next one will make 4. Is that right? I don't think we have 5, did we? There's 4, right? 4. There's 4 babies will be born. 4 or 5?
We have 3 that were born and
Right.
2 more.
And 2 more. That'd be 5 babies. Boy, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. That'll be 5 babies in the last month. Well, Ain Katir sent a whole package for each child. I believe it's for each child. She sent a gift, a package. No, for the newborn baby, she didn't send a package for the. What'd she do?
She just sent different things, but she just did a package for different, but it's like a variety of things, not just.
Okay. Most people are not mindful enough to even care about the birth of a child. But Sister Laurel, they're not her children. And what did she do? She sent a package to Beulah Land to help out with the new births of the children. That it takes a magnificent mind to be far thinking, like far reaching and far active in the lives of others that you might not even know, but yet you know they're associated with your community. They had children, so you know that something is needed. Something is needed. And she went over and beyond and just reached out and said, hey, yo, here you go. I'm going to do my part. When we have a birth, everybody try to come together and celebrate that birth the best we can. Just so happened, we just had a couple, but everybody was spread out so far away and so many births that we couldn't just pick up and go to one location when that birth is there. Because if we could, we would, because that's how we move. And that's like a mandatory thing with us. When a child is born, one of our community members, when a child is born, we try to all be there and celebrate with the family. And if we can't be there, we got to send some gifts. We got to do something. But we got to let it be known that we appreciate the birth of that child, because those things are important. It is. So the births that we just had, I'm thankful to the Creator for those births. We've had 1, 2, who was the third birth? I know Benjamin.
More Cece had her baby. One of our babies.
Oh, that's right. That's okay. All right.
Sister Gabby.
Yeah, I got Gabby already. I remember her. Shalom. All right, so Maurice Cece, we got to get with her. So this is just the type of things that we like to do. I thank the Creator for the life, the newness of life. It gives us opportunity to extend what we learned and what we do to the Most High. So may the Most High be praised. I pray that He allows us the opportunity to visit, to be with, to help, to support, and be in the lives of those youth that have just come into existence on this side of the earth. May the Most High be praised. What do I want to thank the Creator for on my personal side? I don't have any stories for y'all this week. Y'all know that I got a story that I'm grateful for, but I don't think I have any stories this week that I need to be extremely grateful for. Extra grateful. But I am grateful for all the things that the Most High has done, all the protection that He places around us, the help that He places in our lives when we need it. As I said earlier, it's just a joy knowing that the Most High got your back, that the Most High is there to guide you and to protect you and to help to prevent you from making mistakes that a lot of common people make often. And those mistakes end up costing us dearly in the end. So may the Most High be praised. All right, Naseekh, I turn it back over to you, Toda Rabbah. Is there anything before we get started with our lesson for today? Is there anything else we need to discuss?
Not on my end. I don't believe anything.
All right. Well, today's lesson, family, I pray that you get your notepads, your pens, your papers. I pray that you get your recording devices and all those things. Get them ready, because we're going to have a lesson today. It's going to be part 3. Part 3 of by this I know that you are a man of Elohim, and that the word of the Most High is in your mouth, and that the word of the Most High in your mouth is truth. So we're going to go here. We're going to embark on part 3. I know you enjoyed 1 and 2. I know it was a great lesson because I was there. The Creator allowed me to be fortunate enough to get a piece of it, and I'm thankful. And that was so exciting. I just can't wait to this next lesson, because I know it's going to be equally exciting, if not better, because He done had all the time and effort that He did, that He put into all the other work to bring forth this portion. So it's just going to be a compilation of joy, a compilation of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Get your notebooks, your pens, your papers, your pads. share to everybody you know, and we getting ready to rumble. You ready? May the Most High be praised. Turn over back. Naseekh, you got the floor, brother.
Toda, Bob Prince. Rashee, Kaniro, Tela, Ted, Kabul, Shabak, Yahwa, Yahwa, Elohim, Elohim, Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. First, I want to give honor and praise to the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I want to give honor and praise to my mother, Aim, and my father, my Ab. For without them, I wouldn't be present today to be able to deliver this message of the knowledge or the little knowledge that I do have to share with you all. I want to give honor to my mentor, Chief Prince Evelyn Belewa Hidekia, who you all was blessed to listen to last week. I want to give honor to my Chief Elder, Morris Shalim, Master of the Land. Pray that you all be able to witness that if you haven't. I want to give honor to Prince, who is the spiritual leader of Temple Kifarim, and also spiritual leader of Beulah land itself. I pray that you all one day will be able to witness this land as well and come and visit and build and grow. I want to give honor to my Isha, being a part of me and part of my ministry, Bayeeth Ma'azahn, and which is House of Balance. And I hope that we can do our part to bring forth balance within our culture, our community, our people. So this is part 3. This is part 3. I hope I didn't miss anyone. But this is part 3. And it is, by this I know that you are a man of Elohim and that the word of the Most High in your mouth is truth. We have been dealing with Eliyahu, and we have been dealing with Elisha, right? We've seen some amazing things that has transpired with both of these prophets. We've seen how they operated in authority and presenting certain things, what we would call miracles. But it was also followed by how they moved as individuals. It was also followed by their knowledge in serving and honoring the Most High. It was followed by, well, not followed by, it was led off before the outcome of what I'm speaking of, with how they operated as obedient to the Most High. Those things are all present because we saw instances with other prophets that called themselves prophets or was given the title of prophets, and it wasn't the same. You know, it wasn't the same power. It wasn't the same potency. So we're going to start off in 2 Kings chapter 5. We finished 2 Kings chapter 4. That was the last chapter we was in. And we're going to start off in chapter 5. Give y'all a second to get there. Shabbat Shalom. Zakena Sakari. Shabbat Shalom. Zakena Opal. She said, Shabbat Shalom, family. Thank the Most High for strength and keeping through another week. Glad to join again with you, family. All right. So we're going to continue on with Elisha, the prophet Elisha, right? Chapter 5, verse 1. And it says, Naaman, the commander of the army of the king of Aram, or in some of you all's translation might say Syria, was an eminent man before his master and well honored. For through him, the Most High had granted victory to Aram. Right? The man was a great warrior, a leper. Aram had gone out in raiding parties and had captured a young girl from the land of Israel, and she was serving before Naaman's wife. She said to her mistress, my master's prayers should be brought before the prophet who was in Samaria, for then he will heal him from his leprosy. So we see this young lady, this captured young lady from the land of Israel, how she operated with Naaman, even though she was captured. That's one, keep that in mind. But she operated a certain way towards him due to what we first read. It said that he was well honored. In order to be well honored, you have to be moving a certain way. everyone is not going to just honor you just because of who you are. You have to move a certain way. And we can learn from this, right? So it says, well honored. That's what they spoke on in verse 1. But she said that you need to go speak to the prophet, right? He will heal you from this leprosy. This is what she's saying, because he must have been speaking on it. It must have been bothering him in some capacity. But due to perhaps, because the scripture doesn't say it, how he was treating this servant, she was concerned about his well-being. And she wanted to give him the tools necessary to overcome that leprosy, right? Verse 4. So Naaman went and told his master, saying, such and such spoke the girl who is from the land of Israel. The king of Aram said, go and approach him, and I will send a letter to the king of Israel. He went and took in his hand 10 talents of silver, 6,000 pieces of gold, and 10 changes of clothes. He brought to the king of Israel the letter which said, and now when this letter reaches you, behold, I have sent my servant Naaman to you, that you should heal him from his leprosy. All right, so this is the king of Aram, remember, giving him the okay to do this. This honorable servant, this commander of the army of the king, right? Let's keep going. Verse 7, when the king of Israel read the letter, he rent his garments and said, I am the Most High. Am I the Most High, luckily, that I can take and give life? That this person sends me instructions to heal a man of his leprosy? Okay, so this servant is letting her know about this healer, this prophet. But they still went in a certain order. Even when he was sent, the letter went to the king. They didn't even just go straight to the prophet. They went to the king first. I'm just painting this picture to see how this order is going along. Am I the Most High that I can take and give life? This is what the king is saying of Israel. That this person sends me instructions to heal a man of his leprosy? Understand and realize that he seeks a pretext against me. Now this is Elisha coming. When Elisha, the man of the Most High, heard that the king of Israel had rent his garments, he sent word to the king saying, why did you rend your garments? Let him come to me now, and he will realize that there's a prophet in Israel. Now, was Elisha known? Did the king not know who the prophet was? Right? Wasn't his belief, or we're going to find out how strong his belief is, but if your belief is strong, you should have an understanding of who's in the midst of you. And this is Elisha is coming saying, hey, why are you rending your garments? Let him come to me now, and he will realize that there's a prophet in Israel. Right? So Naaman came with horses and chariot and stood at the entrance, verse 9, of Elisha's home. Elisha sent him a messenger saying, go and bathe 7 times in the Jordan or the Yarden, right? Your flesh will become normal again and you will be cleansed. Naaman was enraged and left. Why is he enraged? Why is he enraged? When we look at the pattern of our history, a lot of times people knew when they went to prophets that the prophet would instantly pray or inquire of the Most High on the behalf of him. But he is telling him, just go and do this. This is why Naaman is enraged. They know who the Most High is. They've heard of the Most High. They've heard of the history dealing with Israel. So he's enraged because typically that's what a prophet does. But that's not what Elisha did at this point. Naaman was enraged and left. He said, behold, I said to myself that he would surely come out to me and stand and call in the name of the Most High, his power. Call in the name, right? So this is going on with me. I'm trying to get rid of this leprosy. I'm an honorable guy. And please, I'm inquiring of you to go to the Most High before. Okay, well, in the name of the Most High, this will be done to you. This is what he wanted. This is what he's used to. But this is not what Elisha was doing, because he understood the authority that he had, that he was given. He understood that second portion of the spirit, the double portion that he got from Eliyahu or Elijah. He understood that. So he has said, behold, I said to myself, verse 11, that he would surely come out to me and stand and call in the name of the Most High, his power, and wave his hand over the diseased area, right? And the leper will be healed. So he wanted something to be done in a certain order. He wanted something that he was used to, the way that he was used to happen in order to see this miracle. But that's not what was given to him. Not his frame of thought, none of that. This was how Elisha came, which was opposite of what he thought was going to take place. And the leper will be healed in verse 11, 12. Are not Amana and Parfa, the rivers of Damascus, better than all the waters of Israel? This is what he's used to. Shouldn't I go here? I shouldn't go here. I don't know nothing about what he's telling me to go. I want to go where I know this water is clear, is pure in my mind. Shouldn't I go there? It's better. Then it says, do I not always bathe in them? I'm used to it. So he's taking them out of his element, out of what his frame of mind, of what his normalcy is. And at this moment, he's frustrated. Do I not always bathe in them? I'm familiar with it. Have I become cleansed? Then he turned and went in a fury. Verse 13, but his servants approached and spoke to him and said, see, this is why it's good to have other people around you that can spark thought in your mind. They said, my father, they came with respect though, had the prophet told you to do a difficult thing, would you not have done it? So you wanted all these steps. You wanted something hard to be done instead of something that was simple. Simplicity, people can't fathom that sometimes it's the simple things that helps you to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. We think that everything has to be hard in order to accomplish it. That's not true. How much more so now that he has told you, bathe and become cleansed? So he went down and immersed himself 7 times in the Jordan, right? He took heed to what they told him. In accordance with the word of the man of the Most High, and his flesh became like the flesh of a young boy, and he became cleansed. He returned to the man of the Most High. He and his entire retinue. What does it say in you all's version? Him and his entire. Oh, it says the same thing? Okay. He arrived and stood before him and said, behold, now I know that there is no Elohim or no power in the whole world except in Israel. There is no power in the whole world except in Israel. But notice this. It took for him to see this miracle, one, but also it was a different method in how this cleansing was done to him. This different method that was foreign to what he was used to was done to him, which also set apart the Most High from any other power that they knew. And he said, it is no Elohim in the whole world except in Israel. Why? Because he did something different. And now please accept the tribute from my servant. Verse 16. But Elisha answered, as the Most High before whom I stood lives, I swear that I would not accept. He urged him to accept, but he refused. Everything that's given, right, or help doesn't always need something returned to that individual that's giving it. But we're so used to interact, we're so used to transactions, right? We're supposed to be a certain type of way. And this wasn't even technically his brother. But let's keep going. Naaman said, at least let there be given to your servant a mule team's load of earth. This is interesting. And at least let there be given to your servant a mule team's load of earth. For your servant will never again offer a burnt offering or any sacrifice to the other mighty ones, but only to the Most High. Why is he asking for a load of earth or ground or adamah, right? Soil. Why is he asking for that? He wants to, it's a school of thought that teaches he wants to take that and to create something that's in dedication to the Most High, that he stood on. He want a piece of what you stood on to take it where I'm going, and then I'm going to be focusing and worshiping the Most High in the same manner. Because obviously the Most High is doing something for you. So I'm going to take the very earth or the very soil, Adamah, that you are standing on. That's interesting. That's interesting. We do not see that today. Some would think that it's crazy if we saw something like that today. You know, let's keep going. He says, 18, may the Most High forgive your servant for this one thing. However, when my master comes to the temple of Ramon to bow down there, he leans on my arm. So I must bow in the temple of Ramon. When I bow down in the temple of Ramon, may the Most High forgive your servant for this one thing. So it's not really saying how old his master is at this particular point, right? So if he leans on him on his arm, then it's maybe safe to say that he's an elder, right? And it says, so I must bow in the temple. So he's imagine somebody heavy leaning on you, right? And going down into some prostrated position. You're bound to do the same thing, especially if it's someone that you deem to be your king. Like, you got to put your mind frame in their time, right? Today, we don't do that because we don't have, or we don't believe ourselves to have kings and things of that nature. So we don't have that same type of reverence. But he's letting them know, please forgive me. This is why I would do this. But I will not serve anyone else other than your power, right? Then he said to him, verse 19, go to peace. I might say go in peace. But go to peace, and Naaman traveled a short distance from him. Gehazi, the attendant of Elisha, remember we were speaking of him in the last chapter, the attendant of Elisha, the man of the Most High, said to himself, behold, my master has spared this Aramean Naaman by not accepting from his hand what he had brought. As the Most High lives, I swear that I will run after him and take something from him. So that faithful servant he had in the last chapter, this is what Prince was bringing out 2 weeks ago. You know, consistency is the most important thing when it comes into your walk. It's going to be temptations. It's going to be things that can knock you off course, right? Mentor of mine always say that time is the greatest equalizer. I know Prince always say that time is the true teller of all things, right? So our job as servants, or those who we claim, or those of us that claim to be servants of the Most High, because it's easy for us to say it. The true teller, as Prince would say, or time is a great equalizer, as my mentors say, we need to prepare ourselves. We need to practice. We need to stay in the mode of continuing to not be moved from left to right, put ourselves in positions to where we'll be able to take those different things that come in our lives that may try to shift us. We need to prepare ourselves so that we won't fall what we're about to read right now. Okay? You will mess up, but intentions matter. He's intentionally about to do something. Intentionally, that's the part I'm speaking of. I'm not talking about if you fall, you didn't know this, you needed to learn this portion and you didn't know it. I'm not talking about that, but intentionally is something different. Let's read what he intentionally did. He said, as the Most High lives, he even swears by the Most High, that I shall run after him and take something from him. So Gehazi chased after Naaman. Naaman saw him running after him, and he alighted from the chariot to greet him. And he said, is all well? Why is he asking is all well? He already talked to his master, right? He already talked. So he's wondering, like, is everything good? I'm on my journey. I'm leaving. I already tried to give him some. He didn't take it. I already took this Adamah, this soil, you know, so I can make sure I can be or have this same effect that I'm seeing that Elisha has when I'm going before the Most High. So we're done. Why is his servant here? Is everything good? He said, all is well. My master sent me saying, he just lied right there. My master sent me saying just now, 2 young men of the prophets, disciples, have arrived to me from Mount Ephraim. Please give them a talent of silver and 2 changes of clothing. So a liar and a thief, which is one and the same. A liar and a thief. Greediness is happening right now, right? 23. Naaman said, please take the 2 talents. He prevailed upon him, and he wrapped up 2 talents of silver in 2 pouches, and took 2 charges of clothing and gave it to his 2 attendants who carried it before him. When they came to a secluded place, he took it from their hands and hid it in the house. Why is he hiding it? Right? He then sent off the men, and they went. He then came and stood before his master. Elisha said to him, where are you coming from, Gehazi? He said, your servant did not go here or there. So he's lying again. Then said to him, Elisha, did my heart not go along when the man turned aside from upon his chariot to greet you? Is this a proper time to accept money with which to buy clothing, olive trees, vineyards, sheep, cattle, slaves, and maidservants? Sometimes questions are asked not because they don't know the answer to it. He already knew what was going on. I put something in place. I know a little bit more in this particular subject than you. And you just went against what I had said or what I have agreed upon with someone else. I already told them that I'm not going to take anything from you, but you did it. So since you did that, let's see what it says. It says, it's 27. Naaman's leprosy should be therefore cleave to you and to your children forever. When Gehazi left his presence, he was white as snow with leprosy. Why is it going to the children? You heard something earlier when Adon Azante came up here. He was speaking on children. He was speaking on he's grateful that he has changed that cycle. Some will say that curse, right? But typically, if you're being a certain way, your children is going to be that same way 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10, however you want to put it, right? So this is going to befall on you, and this is going to befall on your children. The scripture doesn't say what I'm about to say right now, but what if the children came to serving the Most High properly? What do you think may happen? Anyone? He said to him that this leprosy is going to fall on you and the children that you're going to have, basically. What would happen from your knowledge if their children was to end up serving the Most High properly? Do you think that leprosy? Go ahead.
Hey, Naseekh, can you ask them to come up to the podium? Because we can't hear them.
Okay, I was going to relay it. I got you. Go ahead. Can you come up, please? Toda. Salakli, Prince, and everyone listening. He's saying some powerful things, though. Here we go.
I think that if we follow the Most High properly, that the Most High can take away the leprosy. It's just like when we read the scriptures and we're learning from our forefathers and learning from their mistakes, and we don't do the same things that they do, just so that we fall in order and we follow the Most High properly.
Okay, Toda. And that's exactly my thought process. And we can see that in our history and scripture. The Most High is merciful and just wants us to serve him. So I believe that could be the case. I'm not going to say it is or it isn't. May the Most High's will be done. But we have seen instances like that. That concludes that first chapter. Is there any comments? Is there any questions so far?
Man, that was so amusing. There was so much information in there. Oh man, so much information in there. You know, about honor, loyalty, integrity, truthfulness, sincerity, commitment. There was so much information in it. And I think it was so much. I mean, you could go back on that chapter, read it again, and have a whole nother dissertation on it for another hour, just by rereading that and pulling out the little points. There was so much information, man. So thank you for sharing. Total Rabbi.
Toda. Amen. Yeah. Anyone else? Anyone else in the audience have anything to say? Whether it be on you do? Okay, I'm gonna mute myself.
Shalom Aleichem. Mine's going to be quick. It just means that for me, I see that the Most High requires us to carry ourselves at a higher standard, honestly, from everybody else. We have to walk with integrity. We have to talk with integrity. Every day, I think that's been tried, and we have to literally hold ourselves to a higher standard, especially with one another and the example that other people see when they're looking at us. So,
Toda. Appreciate that. It's T. Anyone else before we go forward? Anyone else? All right. All right. So if it's nothing else anyone else has, we're going to go ahead and continue. Let's see what else Alicia has for us. Again, the title is "By This I Know That You Are a Man of Elohim." We have seen many instances. Before Alicia came into this position, Alicia, and we see this throughout the scripture. Alicia was basically elevated, right, by Eliyahu. He was elevated through the things that he was doing prior to this elevation, the studying under the his walk, his character, things like that. We saw that with I say this all the time, but we saw that with Shemuel and Eli, the prophet Shemuel and Eli. We saw that with Moshe and Yehoshua, right? We see that throughout our culture. So it's always good when we have individuals as Yisrael and we're trying to do it on our own. That's just not part of how we operated. That isn't to say that you cannot become close to the Most High or you won't be. Your success is just greater. Your success is greater, So we're starting to see his success. Let's keep going. Chapter 6, verse 1. Let me make sure that's where I wanted us to go. Okay, chapter 6, verse 1. And it says, the prophets, disciples said to Elisha, the prophets, disciples. So there's a group of prophets and they got disciples, said to Elisha, behold, the place where we are dwelling before you is too crowded for us. Let us go to the Jordan, and each one of us will take one beam, and there we will make ourselves a place to dwell. Cain and could tell the curse will be lifted. It should be lifted. We see the consistency throughout the text of that being the case. Now, will it definitely be lifted? We're not sure. Everything's in the Most High's will, but most definitely, I agree with your comment. Verse 3. One of them said, please agree to go with your servants. And Elisha replied, I will go. So he went with them, and they arrived at the Jordan to cut down the trees. It happened as one of them was felling a beam that the iron axe head fell into the water. He cried out and said, who is me, or woe is me, my master, it is borrowed. So this was something that was given to him. He borrowed it for a time being. So, and here's the thing, what's interesting about this? He is concerned. He is feeling pricked, vexed due to losing an item that's not his. That's nothing special what I'm saying, right? But just think of today. Most people, they treat someone else's items Like, oh, okay, well, oh well. You know, he's saying, woe is me, my master, it is borrowed. So he's asking for help. The man of the Most High asked him, verse 6, where did it fall? And he showed him the place. Elisha then cut a piece of wood and threw it there, and the blade floated up. He said, pick it up for yourself. And he stretched out his hand and took it. This particular verse, I would love to see what you all thought on this is. But for the most part, the way that I view this is he is an individual that is concerned that he borrowed an item and he wanted to make sure that he was keeping the law, right? You want to make sure if you're borrowing something that you're treating it as your own. You don't, if you do something to it, you lose it, you got to give it a certain portion, right? To what's the word I'm looking for? To make it right. That's not the word I'm looking for, but to make it right. Can't think of the word I'm trying to say. But yet he went for advice to help him. So he threw this piece of wood in there and the blade floated up. Okay. The king of Aram was fighting against Israel. He took counsel with his servants and saying, my encampments will be in such and such place. The man of the Most High sent word to the king of Israel saying, beware of passing by this place, for that is where Aram is lurking. The king of Israel sent scouts to the place about which the man of the Most High has spoken to him and had warned him, and he took care to avoid that place. This happened not just once and not just twice, right? So when it's talking about this happened not just once, this particular attack or ambush or whatever you want to call it was happening a couple times. Okay. The heart of the king of Aram became perturbed over this matter. He summoned his servants and said to them, won't you tell me which of our people is reporting to the king of Israel? One of his servants said, it is not so, my master, the king. Rather, Elisha, the prophet who is in Israel, tells the king of Israel even the things that you discuss in your bedroom. Right? So this is letting you know that Elisha is known. It's word getting out about the things that he's doing. Right? People are understanding that he is truly connected to the Most High. He's able to even speak on what is not being spoken on. Okay? And it's accurate. It's coming to be. He said, go and see where he is, and I will send men and capture him. It was told to him, saying, he is in Dothan. He sent horses and chariot and a large army there. They came at night and surrounded the city. Okay, so keep that picture painted. They surrounded the city. This army, this large army, right? The attendant of the man of the Most High, or the servant, was early to arise, and he set out. When behold, an army was surrounding the city with horse and chariots. His attendant said to him, alas, my master, what shall we do? Okay. Elisha said, fear not, for we have more forces with us than they have with them. So picture this. We've seen this situation with Gideon, right? But I'm just trying to paint that picture. But this is different. It's some forces that he's about to present that they're not aware of, that many of us aren't aware of. We have an idea of these forces, but we don't believe in the forces fully, right? But they have a group of individuals that are prepared for some form of battle, but not this large of a battle. So he said, fear not, for we have more forces with us than we have with them. They have with them. Elisha then prayed and said, the Most High, please open his eyes that he may see. So now we're seeing this instance that he's actually praying. The other times he wasn't praying. But it's certain levels to this, right? And this particular level, he had to pray to reveal what he's about to see, that he's not seeing. Please open his eyes that he may see. The Most High had opened up the attendant's eyes, his servant, right? And he saw that, behold, the mountain was full of horses and a chariot of fire all around Elisha. all around Elisha. What does that mean? Anybody? Anybody that's listening right now? What does that mean? No one? Anyone on the panel? Let's keep going. So he had these beings, supporters of the Most High, right? That was surrounding him that he wasn't able to see. This is the protection of the Most High. That's what I was looking for, you all. The protection of the Most High. That was around Elisha, that his servant and those that was present amongst his servant and those that was outside that was coming to attack could not see. Okay. Verse 18, the Arameans then descended upon him. Elisha prayed to the Most High and said, please strike the nation with blindness. And he struck them with blindness according to the word of Elisha. Elisha then said to them, this is not the right way, and this is not the right city. Follow me, and I will lead you to the man whom you seek. And he led them to Samaria. It happened when they arrived at Samaria that Elisha said, the Most High opened Elisha said, Most High, open the eyes of these people that they may see. The Most High opened their eyes, and they realized that they were in the midst of Samaria. Okay. The king of Israel said to Elisha when he saw them, shall I strike them down? Shall I strike them down, my father? But he said, do not strike them down. Would you strike down people whom you have captured with your sword and your bow? Why is he saying this? It's no honor to strike a man or hit a man when they're at their weakest. It is no honor to strike a man or a people when they're at their weakest. You're already stronger than them. You already got the upper hand on them. This was honorable, what he's saying. Do we see that today? Do we strike people at their weak when they're weak? When we know that we have the upper hand on them? This is something that we can take heed to, that we can add into our way of life, which this should already be our way of life. He said, rather place food and water before them. Wait, not only are you going to take them, but now you're giving them food and water, so take care of them. Let them eat and drink and then return to their masters. 23. So he prepared a large meal for them, and they ate and drank, and he sent them away, and they went to their masters, and the bands of Arameans no longer came into the land of Israel. Okay, so at that point, after that, they didn't come back into the land at this particular moment, right? It happened after that. Ben-Hadad, the king of Aram, gathered together his entire camp, and he went up and laid siege to Samaria. There was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, there they were besieging it until a donkey's head cost 80 silver pieces, and a quarter of cob of pigeons done cost 5 silver pieces. So basically, it's painting a picture, letting you know that the famine is so great that they had to make sure that these items or these things cost at a price that it never was before. Right? They was taxing the people extremely with these particular examples that they use. Verse 26, the king of Israel was once passing on the city wall, and a woman called out to him, help, Adoni, the king. He replied, if the Most High does not help you, how shall I help you? So we're still seeing a little lack of faith, right? How can I help you if the Most High is not helping you? We're all in this famine, right? From the threshing floor or from the wine press. The king then said to her, what troubles you? Okay, what do you want? She said, this woman said to me, give over your son and we will eat him today. Can y'all fathom that? Watch this. Give over your son and we will eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. This is why they call back in the day like barbarians and you know, this how they look at it. But I think we're just more privileged over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I mean is, when I say this, we can't fathom living like this. We can't fathom a true famine to where the government is helping us and we have to fend for ourselves and grow our own food. Now, this is not saying that this is a good thing, but I'm just bringing out, when we read this, we look at ourselves as greater and better than these individuals. That's all I'm saying. Verse 29. So we cooked my son and ate him. And I said to her on the next day, give over your son and let us eat him. But she has hidden her son. Verse 30. And I'm trying to see what prophet spoke on this was going to be happening too. We were going to be doing the same thing. I can't think of which prophet it was. It was talking about what our women was going to be doing. Spoke on this. Prince, you remember what prophet spoke on that too?
It's
Outside
also
of
Deuteronomy 28.
Deuteronomy 28. It says that Deuteronomy 28, but it also says that one of the prophets spoke about it too. I'll find it later. But let's keep reading. 30. It happened when the king heard the woman's words that he rent his garments while he was passing on the wall, and the people saw that there was a sackcloth upon the flesh underneath. So when the king normally did this, he wasn't supposed to do it before the people. This matter was so vexing that at this moment he did it before the people. Kings didn't necessarily show their weakness to the people at all. They did it behind closed doors. They may have done it with their right hand, but it didn't go past that. But this matter was so crazy, so wicked, that he did it before the people. He says, such may the Most High do to me, and such may he do further, if the head of Elisha, son of Shaphat, remains on him today. Why is he mad at Elisha at this point? Because this famine has caused his people to do this. In his mind, he's thinking that Elisha could have prayed to the Most High and got this all taken care of. This is why he is extremely mad and just want to kill Elisha, because he's supposed to be the prophet. He's supposed to produce this miracle, these miracles that we've been hearing about, that we've been seeing. But sometimes things has to happen for the glory of the Most High. And that's what's taking. This famine has to happen for a reason. But we're going to find out. Let's keep going. Elisha was sitting in his house, and the elders were sitting with him when the king sent a man ahead of him before the messenger had come to him. Elisha said to the elders, have you seen that his son, that this son of a murderer has sent to remove my head? See to it that when the messenger comes, you close the door and push him out with the door. For surely the sound of his master's feet is behind him. Right? So he's saying this messenger is just coming to see. Basically, he wants him to take heed of the storm before he comes. So that's why he's sending that messenger before him. So he just wants this messenger to see. So he said, close the door. I'm going to push him out. For surely the sound of his master's feet is right behind him. As he was speaking with them, behold, the messenger was coming down to him. Then the king said, behold, this misfortune is from the Most High. What hope can I have for him? All right, so the king himself actually knows that what's taking place is of the Most High. So even though he wanted the head of Elisha to be taken off, perhaps on his journey coming to him, he had to come to that realization, like, this is of the Most High. Any questions? Any comments? Any thoughts? See, we have a couple of comments. Melchizedek Mengestu says, Shabbat Shalom, Naseekh, Elohim, brothers and sisters, in the name of the Most High, all praise is due forever. And Aim Patel says, Yah of hosts is with them. That's right. Any comments, you all? Any questions, any thoughts? Seems like from this story, when disease is lifted off a person, does it need a place to go? That's a good question. That's a good question. From my perspective, when he said that the leprosy that was of Naaman, if I'm saying his name right, is going to go to you and your children, I'm believing that he's just saying that this leprosy that he had, maybe not specifically this particular leprosy, but what he had is going to happen to you and to your children. That's my perspective, but I do understand that school of thought that you're bringing out. That could be the case as well. But let's say if he didn't do what he did, then where would it have went? Because the leprosy was removed from him when he came to him and did the things that Elisha had commanded him to do. All right, no comments, no questions, no thoughts. Now we're about to breeze through this, huh? No one here. All right. I guess we're going to continue. Toda. All right, we have Don Azante coming up to say a few things.
Shalom. Hello. I just want to say something as far as what you were just bringing out when it comes to a famine and when it comes to how they were, ready to kill. You said Elisha, is that you pronounce it right? Elisha. When they were ready to kill him, because like they were saying, you're supposed to be the prophet. You're supposed to, and a lot of times, for those that are called by the Creator, this is one of those things that you have to. It's one of those things for both sides. It's one thing for the people to understand that it is still always the Creator that is in control and not the person that the Creator is using. You know what I mean? A lot of times, sometimes when we know that people, or when the Creator shows us that people have a connection to Him, it is easy for us to make that person our idol. And sometimes when we as a people will make, lift people up to a certain degree to where we put them in idol and we start to put our faith in that person rather than it's the Creator that's using them. You know what I mean? So the Creator will have something happen just to show the people it's me that's in control. Like that. That's a vessel and that's all it is. But I'm the one that's in control. And then on the flip side for that, then you have Elisha that has to stay steadfast in what he knows. When the people are coming at him and persecuting him and saying, hey, you're supposed to be this, you're supposed to be this. It's on the flip side, it's for him. He has to remain in that moment, even when he is going to the Most High praying for the people and then getting an answer, and has to go back to the people and say, hey, it ain't time, So I just thought that was very unique because a lot of times, like I said, the Creator may use you to do a miracle right here, and then somebody else may come with something else, or something else may happen, and it's just not that time for the Creator to use you in that place, So for the people, it's like we have to understand the Creator is always in control, and then for the person the Most High is using, that person has to stay in the know and to know that it's still the Most High that's always in control, and he has to say so at the end of the day, you know what I mean? But it's a lesson to be learned for all of us just to remain in that knowing and that humility that, the Creator's will is what's going to always be done, regardless of what it is, But I think that's very important that you brought that out because, like I said, sometimes we can, place people on certain things and want to persecute them when, like I said, Elisha had already shown that he was connected to the Creator. You know what I mean? So it's like when things get hard, just like when we were in the wilderness, you know what I'm saying? We want to, start to blame that person. You know what I mean? And it's like that person done did what they were supposed to do. As many miracles you've been seeing, your faith shouldn't be tried. Your faith shouldn't be wavering now. You know what I mean? So with that, I yield to you.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Any comments in regards to what Adon Zante brought out? Anyone?
I'm kind of confused. Ask Zante to come back up to the podium, please.
All right. You heard you's coming right now.
Hello.
Shalom.
I'm trying to understand where you're coming from. It seems like when you first started talking, you were saying something like don't honor the men of the Creator, because it's really the Creator doing everything and not that man. And then the second part, what you were saying was like, just understand that it is the Creator, and that man who's doing it has to understand that it is the Creator. So I'm kind of confused as to the two. Are you saying that we should honor the people who represent the Creator, or we should not honor those people?
What I'm saying is we should honor those people, what I'm saying we should honor those people, and when times get rough, and when times get rough, and the Creator is not using that person in the same way to make these big miracles happen, like we just read, they were ready to kill Elisha. They were ready to kill him, right? But beforehand, it's like one of those things where you will bless me and curse me out the same mouth. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm saying, in the times when things are hard, when things are going good, and the person is doing miracles and Creator using them and doing all these things, it's easy for us to say all praise to the Most High, But when a famine or something happens tremendously, we're still looking for that person to just up and just make something happen, and it's still based upon whether the Creator says that that's okay or not. It's just in those times we then turn on the people that we were just saying the Creator's been using. You get what I'm saying?
So do you think we do that today?
Of course.
How do you think we can get away from that?
We get away from that by what I was saying on the second half. We get away from that by understanding that it is the Creator that is in charge, and it is His will that has to be done at all times. So if it's the Creator's will for Elisha to do something, to use him to do something to take away this famine, like Naseekh just said, if it's not meant for that to happen, the Most High's will is going to be done. Certain things happen only so that the Creator can get the glory out of it. But how we get away from that is all of us remaining and knowing that it's the Creator that's in control. So whenever He's ready for Elisha to do something, He will. But until that time happens, we must still all remain steadfast in what we have known and what the Creator has shown us, and not be so quick to say, all right, well, this right here is going on. This person is supposed to be a man of the Most High. He's not doing this, doing that. We have to stay focused on the Most High, and not get to the point to where when the Creator is using a person, that we forget that it's the Creator that's using them. Does that make sense? I'm trying to
see, that's what's bringing up my problem. See, that's where the issue is right there with me, right there, what you just said.
Okay, explain.
Today, when the Creator uses an individual to do us, like a woman in her household, like a woman within her household, right? When her husband is working and paying the bills, it's easy for her to provide the food and do the womanly job in the background, take care of the children and all that stuff. Now, I'm jumping on you with your story. Now, when he loses his job and the money's is real tight, and her attitude changes toward her husband because he's no longer receiving those blessings, making that life easy, like you're saying, from the Creator. Therefore, her attitude changes toward her husband, and she becomes a disgruntled wife, a nasty wife, and don't really want to do nothing because the benefit that the glory of Creator is not there in the instance like when the blessings of the Creator was upon the prophet. So now that the man is not receiving the blessings like he once was, the woman becomes disrespectful toward him. But to bring that into a scenario like you just mentioned, the man who was doing the works of the Creator ain't working that often through him anymore. So he kind of backed down, and the people want to throw rocks and stones at him now because they're suffering and seeing hard times. And you're saying that the mistake that they made was putting their trust in that man, and they should have overlooked the man and just recognized that it was the Creator from the beginning. Am I hearing you right? She should have overlooked her husband and recognized that it was the Creator that was providing everything for their family anyway. Is that right? Am I getting you right?
Came to a certain extent, yes, but I'm not saying it as far as over. I'm saying when times get hard, we must all pull together and trust the Creator.
I understand that part, but I'm trying to get you the understanding, because I need everybody to understand, everybody in the audience to understand what it is that I'm about to bring forward, if and only if you're saying what I think you're saying. So you're saying that it would have been better for her to overlook that man and realize it was the Creator doing everything, and that would have been the proper thing to do. Am I right?
I can't say yes. When you say overlook, what do you mean?
Well, you said that part of the problem was because we look at the man that the Creator has chosen to do this thing, and we praise him, or we honor him, or lift him up in so many words. These wasn't your direct words, but I think this is what you're saying. That's why I'm asking you, because I need to have that clarity. We lift them up, and we think this man is something great, somebody worthy of praise and honor and respect. And then when hard times come, we ready to jump on them and throw rocks at them. And you said because you think that the problem was we shouldn't have did that in the first place by lifting him up and honoring and respecting him. We should have realized that the blessings came from the Creator, and that's where our attention should have been. Am I right?
Okay, so right, yes and no. So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that you should not have done that from the beginning. What I'm saying is you should keep the same energy that you had in the beginning.
Explain that.
So, like I'm saying now, if the Creator has shown us, right, that He's working through a person, right, and we as a people have said, okay, like they praise Him, giving honor, giving praise, giving honor, giving glory, and putting trust into this person. When things become hard, they must also still have trust in that person, that when the Most High is ready, He's going to give that person a word.
But then after that, you said the problem was they should not have put their trust in that person. I mean, you didn't say that word. You said what they should have did was realize it was coming from the Creator, and that's where their trust should have been. Is that right?
Right. But what I'm saying is like our trust is in the Creator. By our trust being in the Creator, the people that He is using, we must also still trust that when it's time, He's going to use that person. He's going to, He's going to continue to do what He's already been doing. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that we don't give honor to the people that the Creator is using. What I'm saying is that we must understand that it's the Creator working through this person. So if the Most High is not working through that person at that moment, that does not mean that they're not who they've already been, who they've always been. So what I'm saying is, like, we have to be loyal in the time when it's up and when the time when it's down. That's what I'm saying as far as
you're absolutely, and I totally agree with you. And that's why I use this example of a man within his household, because a wife's responsibility, and we are the wives of those men who represent the Creator. You follow me?
Okay.
But a wife in her household, she tends to favor her husband's position when the Creator's blessing him. But when poverty hits and hard times hit, she seems to lose that respect and become someone else. This is the problem with Israel today. And this individual who's effective in our lives that we see every day, we might have just been separated from that individual for a period of time. And we lose all that we've already seen and acknowledged, just like you brought forward, how Moshe did all these things, or Elisha did all these things, And then after a while, the people forgot all the great things that he did. And they started treating him as if he was just a regular man. And that wasn't the case at all. We a lot of times fall victim to those same type of things when we disrespect the leaders who came before us, the men who was placed in position and did the works of the Creator before us. Because they're no longer on the scene actively working and actively doing things, we disrespect, and we have to learn to honor those men, even in their old age. When they can't move no more, they can't talk no more. We still have to go sit at their feet, talk to them, honor them, respect them, ask them for usefulness in the decisions that they may be able to help us with in our lives. But the majority of us, when a person is not engaged, actively engaged in your life, you separate yourself from that individual as if the Most High is not still with that individual. And that's not the way it should be with us. We are supposed to be a set-apart nation, and we're supposed to know how to do this. But a lot of us don't understand the need and necessity. If that person was good enough for the Most High, then that person should be good enough. You follow me?
Okay.
Total Rabbah. Thank you. May the
Amen.
Most High be praised. And thank you for bringing that out, because that's a very sensitive point in Israel today.
Okay.
Of our people, that's a very sensitive point. We lose focus. And yes, while you're honoring your spiritual leader or whomever it may be in that position that you feel, a prophet or prophetess, while you're honoring them, you should be also honoring the Most High at the same time, or even greater than what you're giving them, but yet honor and respect is due to them as well. And even when they're removed from their position, sat down because of their age, or it's somebody else's turn, like you brought up. Even when that happens, we are to still honor them, not to show disrespect because they no longer sit in the seat of authority, but because of all that they've done to get you to where you are. Whether you knew them or not, you knew they were men of the Most High. And we must keep up that integrity, honor, and loyalty unto that individual or those individuals. So thank you very much for bringing that point up. May the Most High be praised. To the Rabbah.
All right, we got a question. I mean, not question. I'm sorry, a comment from Ab Matthias, which is my father in the Most High, my Isha's Abba father. When you have leadership that constantly places focus on the Creator as provision, if the people's heart changes, it's the people's lack of relationship with the Creator. That is a fact. I mention things like that often, and this may hit home with certain people that may watch this later. It was something that was told to me a while ago, actually by Chief Prince Ebulai, which was told to him by his elder of his. I forgot his elder name that said this, but basically, do not allow your heart to be broken in this walk. And a lot of times people's heart are broken. A lot of times the people's heart are broken due to having so much faith in the people. Notice I didn't say leadership. I said people. Leadership too, but not so much. Why am I saying it? When we look at, and I'm gonna get back to this lesson. Hopefully, this is the last part. If we don't finish this, that's it. But when we look at the text and we look at the righteous men and women, we will see that the same stuff that we're seeing today is what we saw back then. There were not a lot of people who were serious in the Most High, that was faithful and pray, like from what we can read. Again, I wasn't born then, but from the history that I've learned and I've studied, we constantly see a remnant. We saw examples of Most High bringing it down to 300 people with Gideon, all them thousands of people. Why? Because The select amount of people are normally those that you can deal with a smaller group versus a larger group of people. You can deal with a smaller group because as you start adding on, then you start getting a lot of different mischievous type of individuals, people that don't really want to keep the law, things of that nature. So let me get back to what you, Prince Zebulon, said with the whole breaking your heart. A lot of people, they pull away from this walk because of what they've been through with certain individuals, certain camps, certain groups. And when I say this, that this may not be taken well. If you allow those people to cause you to not do this walk anymore, then your relationship with the Creator is not as strong as you think. I'm gonna say that one more time. If you allow people in this walk or leadership in this walk to remove you from what we're supposed to do in the law and or culture that's attributed to us through this text, through our literature, then you are not as close to the Most High as you believe. You do not have to listen to me or believe me when I say that. But in your heart, in your mind, if you are a person that has went through this, you know. You really know that, man, I could be doing better. I could be talking more with the Most High. I can be trying to find true righteous individuals, X, Y, and Z. I can be doing these things. You know. These last few chapters we read and some chapters that Chief Prince Zebulon brought out last week, and just all the teachers we've been seeing that they knew to inquire of the Most High through righteous people. This isn't to say that you're not righteous. I don't know if you're righteous or not. But even if you are righteous, a righteous individual knows to keep themselves around righteous individuals and to find them if they're not around them. So I was bringing that out to close out my statement. I was going in what Ab had said. It's the people's lack of relationship with the Creator. Nobody here on Beulah land, not my family, not my wife, not my father-in-law, nobody can stop me from moving how I'm moving with the Most High. Not one soul, not one of y'all. Why? Because I'm pressing to keep that relationship with the Most High. My relationship is with the Most High first. But with that relationship, I understand that the Most High wants my relationship to be with the people. Because if it's not with the people, how do I have a true relationship with the Most High? With that, I yield, y'all. We're going to get back to this. Is there any comments, questions, thoughts before we get started? Princess, you don't got nothing to say? East T, y'all got nothing? All right. Let's continue, all. Ab says, Shabbat Shalom below, Mr. Pekah. As it was, so it shall be. That is right. We are known by the company we keep. That's true. In all of our literature that we have written or played a part in, you will see what Ab just said. We are known by the company we keep. In every form of literature I've read that we have presented, I've seen that school of thought. Let's keep going. We're in chapter 7. We have 2 more to go through. Actually, yeah, about two more chapters to go through. We're going to get through this. Verse 1. Elisha, let me grab this book. So like you all, we've been talking about a lot so far. All right. Elisha then said, hear the word of the Most High. Thus said the Most High, at this time tomorrow, a seah of fine flour will be brought for 1 shekel, and 2 seahs of barley for 1 shekel at the gateway of Samaria. The king's captain upon whose arm he was leaning, answered the man of the Most High and said, even if the Most High were to make windows in the heavens, can this thing happen? Elisha then said, you will see it with your own eyes, but you will not eat from it. He said, you will see it with your own eyes, but you will not eat from it. Why? Because as Adon Azante brought out, he had some great points. You're seeing what I'm continually showing you, and you still gonna ask? I done told you. He told him, you're gonna see it, but you're not gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna let y'all find out in the next chapter what that means. If a person is showing you consistently that they are a woman or a man of the Most High, a man or a woman of the Most High, they're showing you, and they're showing you through evidence. They're showing you through what the Most High is revealing to you through them, but really through him. Why are you questioning this? It's here. But you know why we're questioning it? And I understand why. A lot of us, we do not understand the book or understand the Most High like we believe or like we say we do. We do not. We create what we want the Most High to be. We speak and we teach and we create what the Most High is to us. Even them right here. Remember in last chapter, Elisha told him just to do this and this, but he had in his mind what it's supposed to be. Now he said the king's captain upon whose arm was leaning. So is this the same captain that took the soil? That was leaning that arm? I don't know. It doesn't say. I want to say it is, but it doesn't say. Let's keep going though. We'll find out. Elisha replied, you will see it with your own eyes, but you will not eat from it. Verse 3, there were 4 men who were lepers at the city gate. They said one to the other, why should we sit here until we die? If we propose to enter the city, there is a famine in the city, and we would die there. And if we remain here, we will die. So let us now go and throw ourselves upon the camp of Aram. If they let us live, we will live. And if they put us to death, we will die. So they arose at twilight to go to the Aramean camp. And they arrived at the edge of the Aramean camp. And behold, not a man was there. Not a man was there. They had a concern. They knew what the king of Aram was on. They had a concern. Something was heard. Not a man was there. The Most High had caused the Aramean camp to hear the sound of chariot, the sound of horse, the sound of a great army. And they said to one another, behold, the king of Israel has hired against us the Hittite kings and the Egyptian kings to come upon us. So it was so great that they're thinking it's the Hittite kings, plural, and the Egyptian kings, plural, right? Southern, northern. They thought that sound was so enormous that it caused them to run. The Most High sent something on behalf of them, right? Remember when he had prayed and asked for his servant to see what was all around him. This was the same thing that took place. The same thing. And so they arose and fled in the twilight. They abandoned their tents, their horses, verse 7, and their donkeys, leaving the camp just as it was, and they fled for their lives. These lepers arrived at the edge of the camp. They came to one tent and ate and drank. They carried from their silver, gold, and clothing, which they went and hid. Then they returned and went to another tent and carried, right, loot. You know how when the things that was taking place with us in America, when we didn't like it, and we are breaking into stores and all that stuff. Some of us will look at that, and I think I was one of them at a point, and say like, well, you know, this ain't really helping, and maybe it wasn't helping, Maybe some was really trying to do it to break the businesses, but then there was also some that was just trying to take it and not really caring about the cause. So at this moment right here, that's what they're doing. These people are gone. It's these people clothes and things like that. So they were looting, but they wasn't there. So, they was taken. Let's keep going. Verse 9. Then they said one to the other, we are not acting properly. Today is the day of good tidings, yet we remain silent. If we wait until the light of dawn, we will be considered sinful. So now come, let us go and report to the king's palace. Verse 10, they came and called out to the gate patrol of the city and told them, saying, we came to the Aramean camp, and behold, not a man or a human sound is there. Only each horse is tethered and each donkey is tethered. And the tents are abandoned as they were. The gatekeepers announced it, and it was related inside the king's palace. So why did they say that it will become sinful if they wait until the light of dawn? We will be considered sinful. They didn't just take it. They reported it. So they had to come before the king and to let them know what was taking place. I'm going to read your comment in 1 second. I'll read it now. The Bayeeth says, some people question others' gifts, powers from the Most High because they have not learned how to tap into their own gifts. This is something we often talk about. One thing I can add to that is you have people that are righteous and you got people that are wicked. And according to what the Most High deems is righteous and wicked, and both of them individuals can have gifts and powers. Righteous and wicked. So I guess the context I would need to know is what you mean when you say some people question others' gifts and powers from the Most High. Because a righteous individual may question and may have the same gift, but may question the gift of the one that's not righteous. Our scripture says, and I think it's Devarim, when it talks about it called a person a prophet. And this prophet may cause this to take place. But if they're causing you to go away from the Most High, flee from them. They had gifts, they had powers of some sort. But if they causing you to go away from the Most High, do not listen to that prophet that had a gift and had power. Because they may have taken that gift and that power the wrong way. Especially if they're causing you to go away from what the Most High, his order is, according to what we know within our culture. So that would be my only question with that statement, needing the context behind it. I don't think it's really a bad thing to question certain gifts. I think it kind of depends on the person that has that gift. Like what type of person are they? What are they doing? Are they causing you to go away from the Most High, things of that nature? That's just my shekel, my 2 shekels. Verse 11. The gatekeepers announced it, and it was related inside the king's palace. 12. The king arose in the night and said to his servants, let me tell you what Aram has done to us. They knew that we are famished. So they left the camp to conceal themselves in the field, saying, when they leave the city, we will capture them alive, and then we will enter the city. One of his servants spoke up and said, let them take 5 of the remaining horses that are still in the city. Behold, they are like the entire multitude of Israel that still survives within. Behold, they are like the entire multitude of Israel that has perished. Let us send them and we will see. Verse 14, they chose 2 horsemen and the king sent them after the Aramean camp, saying, go and see. So even though this stuff was happening to them, he still allowed at least 2 horsemen to go, right? They followed their tracks into the Jordan, and behold, the whole way was filled with clothing and gear that Aram had thrown away in their haste. The messengers returned and told the king, the people went out and plundered the Aramean camp. A seah of fine flour cost of a shekel, and 2 seahs of barley cost a shekel, like the sword, the word of the Most High, like the word of the Most High, which was given by Elisha. And this was in the beginning of verse 1 in chapter 7, right? This was the word of the Most High, but he just spoke it. We didn't get no record saying that thus said, or this was said to me, or he inquired. This goes into what we've been learning over the last couple of chapters when we went before. But it's coming to pass in verse 16. The king had appointed, verse 17, the captain on whose arm he had leaned to be in charge of the gate, right? So the king that was leaning on the arm of the captain, is this the same captain that took the soil? And the people trampled him to death in the gateway, just as the man of the Most High had spoken. Why did this happen to him? Remember, verse 2 of chapter 7. When he came to him, he said, even if the Most High were to make windows in the heavens, can this thing happen? So you just question the power of the Most High. So you're going to see it, but you're not going to receive it. So that's why he died right here in verse 16, I think it is, 17. Where are we at? Verse 17, the king had appointed a captain on whose arm he had leaned to be in charge of the gate, and the people trampled him to death in the gateway, just as the man of the Most High had spoken. He had spoken when the king had come down to him. It had happened that when the man of the Most High had spoken to the king, saying, 2 seahs of barley will be brought for a shekel, and seah of fine flour will be brought for a shekel at this time tomorrow in the gate of Samaria, that captain had answered the man of the Most High and said, as I read in verse 3, even if the Most High were to make windows in the heavens, would this thing happen? And Elisha had replied, you will see it with your own eyes, but you will not eat from it. And so it happened to him, for the people trampled him in the gate, and he died. Now, I'm going to stop right there. We're going to go to the next one. I'm going to let you all comment, thoughts, or whatever. But this last part, it can go into what me and Geberit Kaza is speaking of right now. Let me explain. Elisha had replied, you will see it with your own eyes, but you will not eat from it. Why? Because he questioned, right? She said, question, don't believe. But in this context, they have been seeing constantly the power of the Most High through Elisha. This is not, if in our culture, if you really look through the literature, they did want to find out who you are. They didn't just go off of what you say. You won't find that nowhere. They had to see it. Now, if they saw it and they still didn't believe you, that's on them. But if you're showing, and the Most High is using you and showing them through you inconsistency of who you are of him, then that questioning won't take place. But this is what took place right here. He questioned even when he knew. He didn't believe even when he knew. He saw the gift and the power and still didn't believe. So going back to the part what you brought out, and I'm not challenging, I'm just trying to bring some clarity of what I'm trying to say. And it's interesting how this came out as we're speaking on it. Some people question others' gifts from the Most High because they have not learned how to tap into their own gifts. I can agree with that, but I want to add to that and say some people question because they might not even know who you are. Some people question because you have not even done enough work to show who you are. Some people question because your lifestyle, not you when I'm speaking, I'm saying in general, your lifestyle is not even in alignment with what the Most High shows and deems that a person of the Most High will walk in. That's why a righteous person will question. Now, if it's a wicked person questioning, then we understand. They can't fathom it because they're already wicked or they're already not doing what they're supposed to be doing anyway. That one I truly understand. Is there any questions, any comments, any thoughts? Any questions, any comments, any thoughts? Man, we're just flying through it. We're quiet today. All right. I guess we'll continue. Go ahead. Somebody say something. Toda Barrett Kaza, you always bring us some good questions and comments that help provoke thought.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, we can hear you.
All right, my mic was my computer does what it do. You was mentioning earlier that you believe it's the Naaman who was the one that was leaning on. You also mentioned why you think it happened, but you didn't go in to elaborate why you thought it happened. Could you share that with us?
Why did I think he
Stepped on, trampled.
Oh, so if it was him, because I got to do more research on it, right? But it referenced the arm, you know. So I'm assuming I'm gonna do my research a little more. That he already claimed, if it was him, I'm gonna answer it in two ways. He already claimed, he already claimed that your power is mine. I'm going to serve, right? I'm going to serve. I have belief because of what you did. I want to take the soil that you stood on, and I want to use this soil and kind of mimic what it is, just to get the taste of that power that the Most High has given you. That's me throwing it in there, but that's what I'm saying. If this is him, so I'm answering in two ways. Then, in the first 3 verses of chapter 7, you question and said, well, if the most, even if the Most High opened the heaven, you can actually look at it like, man, even if he did it, is this really going, we got to put ourselves back then, like how we talk today. Like, even if he was to do this, is this going to take place? You just told me that you believe. You just told me that this was the Most High of, that this is the power of all powers. You just told me that I'm going to serve. You know what? Since you don't believe, because it's evident you don't believe, even through all what has been shown to you, you're going to see it, but you're not going to witness it. So I'm answering that question to say, if that's him, then you didn't believe what you were saying.
So with that premise in mind,
Mm-hmm.
now bring me to our present current time. How does that apply in our today's time?
It should apply in the present time. I would say that, okay, it's 2 ways to answer that question too. I think it's levels to it. I think that the Most High wants us to have firm belief in him, right? But it is different people that have different levels of closeness with the Most High. So let me answer your question plainly. The way that Elisha removed him, if a person is claiming that they trust, they believe the path that you're on, they believe in the Most High, and then they show that they don't, remove them. That's one thing that should be done, but it's an addition to that though. That's why I say it's levels. You may have somebody that has to get built up to that though. I think it's different, this scenario, the context of this, compared to how we're so far removed today that we have to have and understand that everyone's not at that level that you're speaking of. It could be the circumstances that they're in. They may not have witnessed certain individuals, certain communities. So they might just have that disbelief that might pop off often, which is not good. So I can't really answer that question now that I'm listening to myself answer it to you, because it's a different.
So now you know why I asked the question.
Yeah, it's a different time, because most people today don't believe in prophets. Most people today don't have reverence to, go ahead.
Now, see, I ain't even going that deep with them believing in prophets. I'm just talking about their own personal relationship with the Creator.
Okay.
A lot of us make vows to this King. A lot of us change our lives and say what we're going to do. And then when we're tested, we fall short so easy.
Yeah.
So quick.
Mhm.
That's what I mean, bring it out. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, make
Yeah.
it relevant today to a lot of us so that we can see, understand, and elevate off of your teaching. Show us the dangers, or show us how we trip and slip and fall when we should have been standing strong. You know what I mean?
As I've always brought out, right? And I'm going to bring it out now again to kind of solidify what Princess wanted me to bring out for you all. And I understand it. I'm glad that it took me to say all that to come to this point. You know, I always reference basketball a lot, y'all. That was like one of my first loves. And I always bring out your jobs, right? So how can this not happen? How can what took place with perhaps Naaman, however you say his name, how can we make sure that doesn't happen today? How can we make sure that when we make vows to the Most High, that we don't fall short and have disbelief? It's going to come from consistency and practice. When you think of basketball players, they're the best in the world because they practice every day. When you think of your job, if you're an excellent supervisor or whatever you may be, and you get in these awards or you get in these raises, it's because you're practicing something over and over and over again to strengthen. Let's take it a step further. Some of you may work out. Some of you may work out. In order to lose a certain amount of weight, in order to be a certain size that you may want to be, you have to go and train. You have to be consistent in your training. Sometimes you have to even put more pressure on yourself to get stronger. A lot of us aren't training enough today to be stronger so that we won't fall the way that we see he fell, the way that Prince is trying to bring out right now. We're not training enough. We're not close to the Most High like we believe ourselves to be. We may give honor to the Most High crazy in front of people, but personally, we don't. I'm not saying that's a fact. Only reason I can believe it's close to a fact is based off of perhaps how our life is, how our character more so, how our integrity is more so, not even life. Because we got instances where prophets and stuff wasn't really succeeding in the way that everybody believed you should succeed. So to answer that question plainly, again, it's training. We have to train ourselves to be strong enough to not fall. And we could go a lot of places with that training, but it's just being consistent in your studies, being consistent in speaking and dealing with the Most High, speaking and honoring and praying and meditating on the Most High daily. I used to also teach a little while ago, if we're not talking to the Most High more than we're talking to people around us, then we're not as close as we used to. I know that was kind of extreme, but that was really to kind of that whole saying, if you shoot from the stars, you land on the moon? Is that the saying? It's kind of that thing. When I say that we should be talking to the Most High more than we talk to anybody, some will say that's not realistic. Some will say that. But I'm using that concept the same way as shoot for the stars, land on the moon. It's going to cause you to talk to the Most High more. It's going to cause you to challenge yourself when you put in situations that you got to say, okay, am I going to do this or am I going to do that? Because you're constantly talking to the Most High. You're constantly in prayer. You're constantly in study. This individual, last thing I'm going to say, back to the text, it's evident that he wasn't as strong. He was willing to give up, which we could commend him on, whatever it is him and his master was doing prior to dealing with Elisha, because of what he saw took place with him with the leprosy. This miracle. And that's what most of us do. Something great happened, we'll be like, oh, praise the Most High. Something bad happened, we won't say praise the Most High. Going back to Adon Azante say, even in the good and the bad, stay consistent. You wanted to say something? And that's what I got, Chris. Adon Azante about to come up here and bring out his wisdom.
Again, I just want to name you back on what Naseekh Rashee is bringing out when it comes to training and when it comes to the time that we live in now. Of course, when it comes to this walk, you know, we all have different shortcomings. We all have different things that we struggle with. And in this walk, when it comes to how can we get away from the things we've done in the past? How can we get away from, or how can we build that relationship, you know, with the Creator and with the people that He's placed in our lives? A lot of times what takes place is we make a choice, you know. It's like the show called My 600-Pound Life, right? Yeah. It came to me. My 600-Pound Life, right? So you have a person that's 600 pounds, you know, they want to lose weight, they want to do it, you know what I'm saying? And they make the choice. They go to the doctor and they get everything and they say, this is what I'm going to do. You know, this is what I want to do. This is the route I want to take. And they make that choice or vow, right? But just because they made the vow does not mean the day they make the vow, the 600 pounds is going to fall off of them. There's still an amount of work that has to be put in order for that weight to be shedded, unless you want to take the sideways route and go get the surgery, you know, which will put a lot more damage on your body over time. But it doesn't change. Once you make the decision, that's just one part. And let me backing off of what you said, it goes into that consistency. So once you make the choice, I want to lose this weight, you know, now you have to make conscious decisions of going to the gym, you know, and you may start out strong. You may start out that first week, 2 weeks, you going. And then you may have a week where you like, man, you slow down. But it's in those moments where the most work is done, where the most growth happens, you know, and it's in that week where you like, man, I don't feel it right now, you know, but you still have to continue to press forward. And so that's the difference between two different individuals. You have an individual that may say something, that may say, oh, I want to do it, you know what I'm saying, 600-pound life. Then they go back to the crib right after they talk to the doctor and eat twice as much than they was eating before, you know. And then you have those that's working on it, you know. But and like I said, we all have shortcomings. We all have things that everything is different for every person. But it's about that consistency. Even when you might go 2 weeks to the gym strong, then you might have that week where you're not as strong as you was the first 2 weeks prior. But it's in that week where you're feeling. I know I'm saying week and week, but it's 2 different weeks. In that week when you're feeling weak, it is in that moment where it's like, what you're made of is going to really be shown. So let me use this as for an example, like we were talking before when Prince brought out like the husband and the wife, you know, if you have a wife, right, that in those times where things are not, you know, blessings not raining down on the family, you know, and she was once in a place to where whenever those times would happen, she was always, you know, disrespectful, different whatever. You know, once she makes a conscious decision that I want to be better, it doesn't mean that it won't happen again. It just means that she should now be truly striving in those moments. Let me hold my tongue, you know, in this moment right here, instead of me saying this, now let me go here, you know, and go, you know, let me go to the Most High and just pray for my husband instead of feeling like I got to say it to him. Let me go and pray. You know what I'm saying? Or if you do slip up, say something out the way, go back and make it right. You know what I'm saying? Go back and say, hey, I apologize. I shouldn't have said that. You know, I'm still working on it. So it's just that consistency and that continuously having that desire to continue to grow and to continue to get better. Because like I said earlier today, I'm thankful for growth, you know. Like I've been growing my entire life, but even since being here at Beulah, I'm growing in a lot of areas that I was never growing in before, only because I was not under a certain light to see certain things. So now that I'm under a certain light to be able to see certain things about myself, that means that now I have to actively work on it. So I may pass this test, I may fall short on this test. And then I may pass the next 2 tests, and then I may fall short on this test. But it's a matter of consistently just growing and being consistent about the decision. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we're not consistent because we're not even consistent on our decision. You know, we make a decision and then, you know, we go back and forth about the decision. So once you make the decision and be consistent in the work that needs to be taken to do it. So, you know, that's my piece.
I want to say something really quickly too. Chris, you may have something. I just want to comment really quickly. You have something too. Remember, y'all still got about, you know what I'm saying? Real quick. So vow, you all stay away from a vow unless you actually going to keep the vow. Do not do a vow, you all. Numbers 30 talks on that heavily, especially if you're married. If you are a wife, I would recommend you try to discuss stuff together on certain things. Vows can be dangerous if you truly believe in this eternal power of the Most High Scriptures, like we say. Secondly, righteous. You're going to fall. You're going to mess up. You're going to fall. You're going to mess up. But the consistency of not doing that same thing is what makes you righteous. Yeah. Prince, did you have something before Yahoo? You're muted right now. You're muted. You're muted right now, Prince. Oh, I guess he's saying no. Want to come here? Yeah, they got to hear you. Yeah, I just wanted to bring that part out. The vow is really, we take it too lightly, man. You know, they have us doing that in school when we pledge allegiance to the flag and all this other stuff. These are vows, you know. Go ahead.
Shalom. I was just saying that, kind of adding on to what was said, or my take on everything I've been hearing is just consistency and discipline. It's just the 2 biggest keys that I, got from it as far as, making that choice to, change or whatever route it is that you're choosing to do, but also staying disciplined to maintain and stay on that path to make sure you accomplish that goal. But that was all.
Okay.
Very much in need. Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. Consistency. It's very important. It's one of the hardest things for us to do as people, even as individuals, to be consistent. Like when Shabbat service start, consistently start on time. You know, a lot of people, man, a lot of places, they don't do that. A lot of places, we take pride in starting on time. We make it our effort, every concern to start on time. At least that little bit of consistency. And with consistency, family, you start at one level or with one small thing. You remain consistent at that. And then as you practice the small things, greater things become incorporated in your consistency. When I was a young man, one of the ways that I had to learn consistency, when I was young, my uncle gave me a book. It was the Richest Man in Babylon. That was the name of the book. Y'all should go get that book. It's a very good book. And in reading, I was about 15 years old when he gave me that book. 14, 15 years old. And in that book, the man taught me to take a penny every day and put it in a drawer. Every day, just take a penny and put it in a drawer. Say to yourself, this is what I'm going to do. For next year, every day, I'm going to put a penny in this jar or in this drawer every day. And no matter what happens, every day, no matter what time of the day, you always had to do what you said you were going to do. So you couldn't get slick and say, it's 365 days in a year, so I'm going to just put 365 pennies in at one time. You couldn't get slick and do that. You had to do it consistently every day. And that little small practice builds on your character, and it teaches you to be consistent with other things that are larger and greater than that. It was always an embarrassment for me how they always talked about Black people, people of color. If you say be to work at 9 o'clock, the meeting start at 9 o'clock, be at my house at 9 o'clock, they show up at 9:15, 9:20. No phone call, no nothing. They just late. And it's a consistent effort to be late. Intentionally, that's how we move as a people, as an individual, as colored people. So their stigma of us was actually true because we caused it to be true in our own nature. And if you read any book or listen to any master of discipline, one thing they'll tell you is if they say be there at 9 o'clock, then you're there at 10:30 or quarter of. So to be with that and to keep with that, if I tell somebody sometime they got to meet somebody, I'll always tell them a half hour early, be there at 9 o'clock. So they're there at 10 minutes to 9, which gives a good impression to the people that you're coming to meet, that I'm about my business. If I'm talking to somebody like a lawyer or accountant or somebody that I have to deal with, I'm there like a half hour, at a minimum 15 minutes early. Because I've taught myself consistency, and we all have to teach ourselves consistency. That's one of the things that they don't teach in places like this. Consistency. Be a man of your word. Naseekh said it. Be a man of your word. And if you don't, you can't be consistent if you can't be a man of your word or a woman of your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it. And if you're trying to do something in a way and something is preventing you from doing it, make prayer and then make a phone call. And tell the individual, I'm on my way, but it's a car that just blew up in front of me. The highway is shut down, so I might be a little bit late. But don't let it be because you're prolonging, you're lagging, you're lollygagging, you're taking your time. Definitely don't let it be because you can't get out to bed. All right? So now, see, go ahead with your lesson, please. You're doing a great job. Turn the block.
So great comments, great thoughts that you all brought forth. We're going to go on chapter 8. We're only going to read I think 15 verses, and we're going to jump after that to chapter 13. I'm only going to read a few verses from there because we're going to end this series with Elisha. All right. Chapter 8, verse 1. It says, Elisha had spoken to the woman whose son he had revived. Now, you all may be wondering, okay, wait, we just read about this a while ago. But understand, like in these couple chapters we just read, they're now bringing forth the miracles per se that it's not chronological, basically, at this point. But just watch, it says, Elisha had spoken to the woman whose son he had revived, saying, arise and go forth, you and your household, and sojourn where you would sojourn. For the Most High has called for a famine, and it is coming to the land of 7 years. So the woman arose and did as the man of the Most High had told her, and she went with her household, took a whole household. And I'm sure the husband was leading, but to go household, and sojourned in the land of the Philistines for 7 years. It happened at the end of 7 years, so notice how it's jumping. It's jumping 7 years ahead, 7 years back. So this is how certain times the literature it does this, and I'm sure all of you know it. But those that may be tuning in now that might not be you scholars don't know this stuff, so that's why I'm throwing it out there. It happened at the end of 7 years, the woman returned from the land of the Philistines, and she went to appeal to the king about her house and her field. The king had been speaking with Gehazi, y'all remember Gehazi? The attendant of the man of the Most High. Remember the whole leprosy thing? Saying, please tell me about all the great deeds that Elisha had performed. Just when Gehazi was telling him about how Elisha had revived the dead boy, behold, the woman whose son he had revived was appealing to the king about her house and her field. Gehazi claimed my master, the king, this is the woman, and this is her son whom Elisha had revived. And the king asked the woman, and she told him that it was true. So she told him the story was true, what Gehazi is bringing out. The king then designated a certain servant for her, saying to him, return everything that is hers, as well as all the produce of the land from the day she left the land to the present. Let's just hold fast real quick. Just because of the name of Elisha, just because of his name and what took place with the woman, right? But mainly off what am I trying to say? The
Reputation.
reputation, the reputation of Elisha. He was just going ahead, hey, go ahead, give her everything she had. Plus the story is cold too, it's beautiful, you know. But everything that she wants, give it to her. Just off the reputation. That means our reputation is very important, you all. The reputation that we are even forming here at Beulah Land, reputation that we're forming here at Beulah Land is very important. You leave, you go to another state, it's still very important. You leave, you go to the store, it's very important because they're going to know. I remember I heard a story dealing with my Isha, and I don't know why I say dealing, you all, not using the right word. A story that my Isha had told me about her and her family, which is my family, of course. And, you know, they got a big family. So they used to identify as soon as they, what did they call y'all? The Brown tribe. But their reputation as far as how they were, I remember when Prince had first met them, he used to say he knew all their spirits was in line because of how they moved. And their reputation went back to Aim and Ab, or Ab and Aim, right? But it's due to what you are doing. That consistency is important that we're speaking of. People will move mountains for you just because of your reputation and your name, your consistency, your character, your integrity. Crazy thing is, all of us know this already. I'm not saying nothing that nobody that's listening right now don't already know. But it's the choice that we're missing. We got to want to do it. We have to make it a choice to do the things that we know. My people are what? For the lack of knowledge. They wasn't, they knew what to do. The knowledge was there, but the application of the knowledge, they're destroyed for the lack of knowledge. No, they had the knowledge. They chose not to do the knowledge. So I'm bringing that back to this and saying this reputation alone is what caused the king to move on behalf of this woman that he didn't even know. Let's keep going. All right, verse 7. Elisha went to Damascus, where Ben-Hadad, king of Aram, was ill. It was told to the king, saying, the man of the Most High has come here. The king said to Hazael, take a tribute with you and go to meet the man of the Most High. Inquire of the Most High through him. Man, we've been talking about this for the last month. Inquire of the Most High through him, asking, will I recover from this illness? So Hazael went to meet Elisha, taking as a tribute all the bounty of Damascus with him, 40 camels loads, 40 camel loads. He came and stood before him and said, your son Ben-Hadad, the king of Aram, has sent me to you, saying, will I recover from this illness? Elisha said to him, go, say to him, you shall indeed recover. So in other words, from this illness, you would have recovered from this illness. But watch this. But in fact, the Most High has shown me that he will indeed die. So it's going to be another cause in particular, not that particular illness that's happening. This is what the text is saying anyway. Verse 10 says, verse 11, Elisha turned his face aside for some time. And then the man of the Most High cried. Why is he crying? People think men don't cry. I mean, I know y'all know it. But the men of the Most High probably cry more when it pertains to the people. Not even probably. does cry more when it pertains to the people than your average person. Let's see why he's about to cry. Hazael asked him, why is my master crying? And he replied, because I know what evil you would do to the children of Israel. He cried for the people about Israel before the evil even happens. I'm crying because of the evil I know that you would do to the children of Israel. Their strongholds you will set on fire. Their young men you will kill by sword. Their babies you will tear apart. And their pregnant women you will split open. Hazael said, but what is your servant, a dog, that he would do such a terrible deed? See, sometimes people don't even know selves.
What's his name?
Huh?
What's his name?
Hazael?
What that look like? The goat.
Oh.
The goat.
Okay.
And you know the goat symbolic of Satan.
Okay. Wow. But he's saying, but what is your servant, a dog, that he could do such a terrible deed? And Hazael, verse 13, the way the perspective I have with it is, he doesn't even know himself and what he's capable of. But this man of the Most High sees it. It could be due to the pattern of how he's been moving as well, but he's about to find out. Or maybe he won't. Let's keep reading. Elisha answered him, the Most High has shown me you as king of Aram, right? So he's not the king at this point. He went from Elisha and came to his master, who said to him, what did Elisha say to you? He said to me, you should indeed recover. The next day, Hazael took the cover, dipped it in water, and spread it over his face, and he died. He didn't just die, killed him. A school of thought, anyway, my school of thought. Hazael became king in his place. We're going to stop there. You all can read more on that story. But this man, this example that I'm bringing out with Hazael, it just shows that the prophet has let them know this is what you're going to do to our people. You're going to read about that if you go deeper on your own. But it just showed that he's like, man, what am I, a dog? That I'm going to do something crazy like this? I can never do it. I will never do it. But he sees it. And he calls it. And it was revealed to him by the Most High. Let's jump to last place we're going to. Chapter 13. Wait, is it chapter 13? Let me confirm it. Yeah, chapter 13. And we're going to jump down to verse 14. Only going to read 5 verses. 14 to 14 to 21. And we're going to be done, you all. 2 Kings chapter 13, verse 14 says, Elisha became ill with the disease from which he was to die. Jehoash, king of Israel, went down to visit him, and he cried before him and said, Father, Father, Israel's chariot and horsemen. You hear people bringing, and this is going to go into my, because I still have to let you all know my Mount Rushmore. You heard Prince talk about his elders, even that he would kiss on the cheek. You know, when my ob does to me every time he sees me. I've never got that done, by the way. But Prince said that he would kiss on the cheek due to the honor that he had for these individuals, even if he doesn't have the same understanding on certain things, just to respect. This individual said, Father, Father, Israel's chariot and horsemen. So the chariot and horsemen symbolic to what they were doing to the people. I said they for a reason. Hold this place, you all. Don't move. I'm about to go to 2 Kings chapter 2. Don't move. I'll go myself. 2 Kings chapter 2. And I'm gonna read verse 2. No, verse 12. You all can write this down if you want to. And let me read verse 12. No, verse 11 and 12. As they were walking and conversing, behold, a chariot of fire and horses of fire appeared and separated between the two of them. And Eliyahu or Elijah ascended to heaven in the whirlwind. Elisha was watching and shouting, and he said, Father, Father, Yisrael's chariot and horsemen. The same verbiage that was given to Eliyahu by Elisha is the same verbiage that's given to Elisha right now by his by the king Joash. The same honor is given because did they do the same work? No, they didn't do the same work, but yes, they did. And that work was to be a chariot and a horseman to the people. Now, granted, contextually, he did see that for Eliyahu, but did Joash see that for Elisha? Right? So this is the job of those that come and stand on the shoulders of those before them. They are supposed to move in this manner. And if you are truly of the Most High, it's a certain power that is going to be within you and some points within your life. And we're going to read this. Will it be this? We don't know. But could it be? Maybe. Let's keep reading with Elisha. Some people don't know this story fully. So we're going to go down to verse 20. We're going to keep reading. Verse 15 said, Elisha said to him, get a bow and arrows. So he took for himself a bow and arrows. And he then said to the king of Israel, position your hand upon the bow. And he positioned his hand. Elisha placed his hand upon the hands of the king. So he guided him, right? He then said, open the window towards the east. And he opened it. Elisha said, shoot. And he shot. Elisha said, it is an arrow of salvation unto the Most High, and an arrow of salvation against Aram. Let me stop there before I keep reading. The symbolism, like it's a few things I saw with this. Now, when we prayed towards Jerusalem. It's east for us. Might be different if you live there. But I'm viewing this just different. Like he said that it's a salvation against Aram, right? This is only my school of thought. This is not scripture. We are looking for salvation against where we're at now. Our mind, our spirit should be pointed in a direction, right, of where the Most High said his name would be. It says, shoot the arrow east. It was a lesson I had taught, one of the first lessons I taught when I first met Prince. And one of the first times he asked me to teach, and it was something I brought out. And I was talking about the mark, and one of the when it talks about the arrow, what do you call them people that shoot arrows? Marks.
Archers.
Archers. There you go. So archers. And when we looked at that word archers in that particular text, it literally said Maureen. Right? It was attached with arrows and Maureen. Him using this get a bow, get arrow, having it as a symbolic to it being a salvation, pointing in the direction, salvation against Aram, going towards the east. And we're supposed to be, I always say this, it's correct, but I believe it is, right? We're supposed to be priests unto the world, right? So being priests, you're supposed to have a level of that Maureen spirit, right? You're supposed to be a teacher, right? But in order to be a teacher, you have to have a level of understanding. And those archers had a level of consistency, practice in what they were doing, and preciseness about them. In order for us to be attached to the Most High how we should have a preciseness, if that's right, about us in this walk. And we should be having our direction, our focus towards what the Most High is going to be. We saw this in, I think, First Kings when we was reading. Actually, the first beginning of this series, I guess you could say, part 1, perhaps, right? When I forgot who it was specifically, but he basically referenced when Shlomo was talking about if they pray towards east, if they pray towards the temple, right? I'm just trying to connect all of this. Maybe it's a long shot, but this is just what I'm saying. Let's keep reading. Verse 18. Then he said, take the arrows, and he took them. He said to the king of Israel, strike them to the ground, right? So his command was strike them to the ground. You strike something to the ground, it should be obliterated. Am I saying that right? Obliterated. And that's what he didn't see. But let's keep going to see if I'm correct. He struck 3 times and stopped. The command wasn't to stop. The command was to strike it to the ground. The man of the Most High became angry with him and said, were you to strike 5 or 6 times, you would have smitten Aram to utter destruction. In other words, if you were to basically struck it to the ground, like he's saying, obliterated it. I can never say that word. It would have been broken into pieces, right? You have smitten Aram to the utter destruction, but now you will strike Aram only 3 times. Then Elisha died and they buried him. It happened that troops from Moab would come into the land at the start of the year. Some people were burying a man, and just then they saw the troops coming. So they threw the man into Elisha's grave. This is interesting. The man's body rolled over.
That ain't interesting. It's powerful.
The bones. Not interesting to me.
Powerful.
Powerful, right? The man's body rolled over and touched the bones of Elisha, and the man came back to life and rose up on his feet. By this I know that you are a man of Elohim, and that the word of the Most High in your mouth is truth, because powerful, miraculous things that will change the minds, the hearts, and the walks of individuals will occur if you are a man or woman of the Most High. That's going to happen. And it's our job, it's our journey to make that part of our job and our journey. It's to change our people. It's to direct them towards the Most High. It's to correct them when they need to be corrected. And it's not to hold on to them if they're causing you to go against the Most High and the people amongst you. And with that, I yield.
See that, family? I told you there was going to be a dynamic lesson. Tell you that's going to be a dynamic lesson. I pray that you took your notes. But more so than your physical notes, I pray that you took your mental notes, because there was a lot of valuable things in this lesson today. But the things about this lesson is not the things that you get everywhere. This brother got up here and taught about character. He taught about integrity. He talked about honorability. He talked about all the things that make a man great, make a person great. And not only great, but righteous in the sight of the Almighty. These lessons are extremely important, and we have to hold dear to these lessons, because when the Shabbat is over, the things that you've learned today should be incorporated into your behavior. And you should be walking in this new understanding, and it should allow you to get closer to the Creator. You see the part about consistency? You see that part he was teaching about being consistent? You know, giving your word and honoring your word. These are the things that make you great. But see, these are here at what we bring it forward here. It's not just talk with us. We're serious about this. It has to be a part of your lifestyle. And if it's not a part of your lifestyle, then you need to contour your life so that it fits in your lifestyle, in your character. I had something that I wanted to show today. but I couldn't show it because my computer wouldn't allow me to go to my Facebook like I wanted to. So I'm going to see if I can at least play it so we can hear it. And if it allows me to play it so we can hear it, then you know it will be good for us to listen to.
Can you send me the link, Prince? I could probably, is it a video or something?
It's on my YouTube page. If you can go there. Did you see the link that I said about true brotherhood?
I don't think I did. You sent it.
All right, let me see if I can copy the link and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I probably could pull it up.
No, I'll share it with you because I can't copy. Oh yeah, I can copy it right here. Go right here.
Can you send it to never mind, wherever you send it, I'll
Where you want me to send it?
Facebook Messenger, and then I could just like click it and share it.
All right, let me go to Messenger. It's a very good piece of information for us, family. And I just thought that it was important that we incorporate this type of stuff. Now, this is a European man talking, but he's talking our talk. And it's not often, but it's the type of stuff that we need to incorporate in our behavior. So go ahead and see if you can, I'll send it to you.
Okay, I'm going to it right now. Let me okay. All right, hold on one second. Let me share it.
These lessons are valuable, family. What you get, it's enrichment. It's enrichment. And as Sister Aisha said, it will change your life. It will alter your lifestyle. Okay, I'm going to be quiet now so he can restart it and listen so we can hear what this European is saying.
All right, let me
You would have to kill them. If you have a team that is composed of selfless individuals and everyone on that team is looking around, thinking about the needs of their teammate and putting the needs of their teammate above their own personal needs, if everyone's doing that, that freaking team is unstoppable. You cannot stop that team, all right? You have to kill them. You would have to kill them. If you have a team that is composed of selfless individuals and everyone on that team is looking around, thinking about the needs of their teammate and putting the needs of their teammate above their own personal needs, if everyone's doing that, that freaking team is unstoppable. You cannot stop that team, all right? You have to kill them. You would have to kill them.
See that? You see that message in there? Powerful message. Extremely powerful. And so that's what we teach here. That's how we talk. And imagine if we was all on one accord, moving with one accord, one mind, one body, one spirit, one essence. And all these people we got in a room, and we were all moving on one accord. Do you know how powerful we would be? Do you know what we could accomplish and what we could get achieved? Do you know how many lives would be affected just by us being consistent and diligent in our walk, in our truth, in our lives to the Creator? This would no more be a thought or a dream or a possibility. It is reality. But it's reality in our lives. And we're trying to extend it to the rest of the earth. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to extend it to everybody else. Because that's what this is about. That's what this time is bringing about. And if it's done right, a powerful thing will be done in the earth to save a lot of lives and a lot of souls, to relieve a lot of burden, a lot of suffering, and a lot of pain, a lot of heartache. But y'all, we have to learn to trust in the Creator. No big eyes, no great, I'm this and I'm that and I'm all by myself and I can. No, it's not about that. It's like Naseekh said earlier, without the people, what do you got? It's about the people. And that's our key. If each and every, and I always talk this talk, so to hear that European say it, I was like, wow. You want greater for your brother than you want for yourself. And for sisters, You got to want greater for your sisters than you want for yourselves. If you know your brother or your sister have a need in their lives and you're able to fulfill that need, they should not have to ask you. It should be done. It should be done. And if we all walk with that attitude, if every one of us take that principle in our lives, because we have the ability to do it, but if every one of us begin to be like that, do you see what we can achieve? Do you see the greatness that will come out of what we're doing? I mean, seriously, we all have to understand that the power lies within us. Our destiny is right here, right now, depending on how we walk, the decisions we make, the choices that we choose, the desires that we have in our lives that overpower us. We have to take control of those things right now. It can be whatever we desire, as long as our desires are platformed on righteousness. Nobody can stop us. Just like he said, they would have to kill us. They had to kill all of us. But we'll be so powerful by that time, it will be then change the mind frame of Black people completely, because they're so accustomed to righteousness. Right now, our people are accustomed to wickedness and evil. But if we teach this and we live this as an example and just affect the few of us who are here, about 30 of us right now. If we just affect that, if we could just affect that and everybody really start to live it like they're supposed to, wherever they're dwelling at, is contagious. Because righteousness, that righteous spirit is contagious. And we can cause it to change overnight. We just got to be real with it. Take these lessons that you learned today, because there was a lot of things expounded on today. Take these lessons that Naseekh spoke on today. Incorporate them in your life, in your personality, and in your attitude. And if you're looking for a job and your interview is at 2:00, be there at 1:30 saying, I showed up for the job. And when they say, what's your name? You say, my name is such and such, Yisrael. Well, what time is your appointment? My appointment is at 2:00. There's 1:30. You get the job. Seriously. I'm serious, family. That's the type of attitude you got to have with everything in your life. Be that consistent, that diligent, and that serious about things. That's right. They don't want this smoke. Shabbat shalom, Abba. All right, family. Let's make it happen. It's that time now, right? Does anyone else have anything that they want to say? Any other comments? You got the floor, Naseekh.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you all me and my Ishai's Mount Rushmore. So I'm gonna give y'all. We promised we was gonna have ours. So hers is, I'm guessing Yehoshua ben Nun. Okay, or no? Or you talking about Yehoshua with Ezra? Okay, Yehoshua ben Nun, Ezra, Deborah, and Elisha. Mine is going to be Ezra, Elisha. I'll put Sarah in there.
Did you say Sarah?
We gotta have a representative for the women. And then I'm gonna say Abraham and Moshe. That's a tough one. I want to make a hybrid. That's a tough one. We got so many. Abraham, Moshe. I'm going to say I've got to say Moshe or Abraham, both of them, hybrid. She doesn't have a current. I'm gonna try to speak fast, just in case people want to slow, cut out. My current 4, and I'm basing this off of 2 things: what I've witnessed on this path, and then also what effect it has on the path. So my Mount Rushmore is going to be Chief Prince Abraham Belewi Hideki, due to his scholarship and literature that he currently has and still has like 9 more on the way, about 16 books. We are a people of literature. I don't know many that I know personally that has, or even that I've researched, that has as many or will have, if the Most High has them here for more years to come, literature in today's time. So I got him there for that one because we need that. If we was to lose things, we need literature. My second one will be Ben Ami Ben Yisrael. The reason, I don't know him personally like everyone else does. I'm only talking on what was done. We look at the Malcolm X's, the Martin Luther Kings, we look at the Noble Drew Ali's, we look at the Marcus Garvey, which he's up there, but we look at all these individuals, and a lot of the people that follow them and learn from them still stayed in the States. I don't knock that though. They was needed and they still are in some sort. Ben Ami and the people that was with him were able to take a group of people to Israel or Liberia, then Israel, lost people that they went with, and then took them to Israel. Regardless of all the stories that's out there, I get it, but that's a hard thing to do. That's my opinion. Like, just look at everything we're going through now. It's hard to take that many people, take them out there, and now they're speaking the language too there. You know, that's an accomplishment. So that's those two. I want to put, again, this is due to what they're capable of doing. I will put, and people I know, Morris Shalem in there. The reason I will put them in there, this has nothing to do with people's lifestyles or anything like that. This has to do with what their gift is. I've never met anyone, not one person, maybe Prince, you've been here longer than me, of course, in this walk, that knows the land the way that him and his wife know the land, more particularly him, because I've dealt with him longer and more. And he reminds me, when I hear him speak, he reminds me of perhaps how our forefathers and mothers was with their knowledge of the land, and agriculture, and things of that nature. Again, I'm only talking about those gifts. And then my fourth one will interestingly enough, I will put Prince in there. And I'm going to tell you why. The love, and I've said this before already, the love and the push on brotherhood, the showcasing of brotherhood in the way that, and yes, I have been reading what you asked me to, so you know, just in case he was wondering, of how our forefathers and even those of similar faiths operated. It's not a lot of push of brotherhood in our walk. I've been around for almost 13 years in this walk, and I don't see a lot of people pushing it and doing it. It's a difference. We talk it all the time. Sisterhood, brotherhood, we talk it. And many of y'all that's listening have been through that's, I know it's 2:00, you all, have been through or been around people that spoke brotherhood a lot and they didn't show it. So I'm speaking on the love that he has for the people and the showcasing of brotherhood, the things that has been done with family I have and I know, the things that have been done with people that I have seen. When I say this, I put Princess with him because I've saw, and I'm talking about the certain things I've got to see both of y'all, how y'all operate with random strangers who would talk dirty about y'all. For some of y'all didn't even do. just because of what their agenda may have been. But even in the midst of that, you're still going to help them. We have a plaque of certain individuals that came and started with Beulah Land. And their names is still on there, even when they have done wicked stuff. So when I'm bringing my Mount Rushmore, it's not about what we think of the individuals. I'm really talking about specific things that is lacked today. That's what I'm talking about. So that's my Mount Rushmore of today. And Princess, I know I put you in there too with Prince, because I got to see y'all do that. Prince, the other stuff I've mentioned in front of people as far as what I've seen as well. And it's probably people tuning in now who has experienced you individually or both of you collectively. So that's my Mount Rushmore. And I can attest, he just said they are two phenomenal people. And with that, I yield you all.
That's all I can say. May the Most High be praised. It's all about the glory of the King. We owe him everything. Without him, we will be nothing. Through him, we can achieve everything.
One more thing, I'm so sorry. This doesn't take away from, like, I still give like honor to my mother and father first and all that stuff. I'm not talking about the parents who brought me. I'm talking about specifically in this walk and the accomplishments that's being attached to being done with other people. So I'm not putting them over my people that birthed me. So I need that to be understood. And that's not to say that if you do put somebody over, which I don't think you should, over someone that birthed you, that is wrong that you're doing it. But I'm a subject guy. So I'm just being specific on what I'm speaking of.
Okay. When you mentioned Ben Ami, you got to also remember that Naseekh Rashee was there with him. Actually, the two of them started off. Ben Ami and Naseekh was over here. They're two different things. They combined together. And Naseekh Rashee sat down to allow Ben Ami to rise up. So all that he had started, Ben Ami helped him to push where he went. And I think that takes a lot of character, because he was older. It takes a lot of character for him to do what he did. And for a lot of people to not know of him, it's almost like a dishonor, but he's a man of honor and integrity, especially from what he did to allow Ben Ami to do what he's done. So the Most High be praised. You know, we gotta stand on the shoulders of our elders, those who came before us. You know, we gotta honor them. We gotta reverence them. We gotta respect them in almost every way possible. And those of us who are together, we have to grow tighter together. And everybody that come in our midst to just learn from our behavior and how we treat each other, they'll start doing the same thing. Because like I said earlier, righteousness is contagious. And the more we do it, the more we display it, the more others will learn it. So may the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah, family. Are we ending out now? Are we done for the day, for this portion? We'll be back today at 4 o'clock, Creator willing. I believe we're done for this early morning portion. Go enjoy yourselves. Have a nice lunch, a nice break. And then we see you all back here around the 4 o'clock hour. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. Shalom, shalom.
Shabbat shalom.